those bangs initially started flowing out, Trump was immediately seen reaching with his right hand toward his neck. And then, as we mentioned, as soon as he stood up, there did appear to be blood on his face. And it is of note, Carell, that we saw immediately when those pops started happening, we saw him reach for that side of his face. We're still waiting for any type of confirmation to figure out what exactly happened here. Obviously, everybody on the scene shocked, frightened as this was happening. President Trump was at this Butler, Pennsylvania rally running about an hour's time late, and then eventually he came out. He started giving what you and I would know as a fairly run-of-the-mill Trump speech. We watched these things week in and week out, those bangs ringing out, and we immediately knew that something wasn't right. Of course, the Secret Service doing their job, immediately tackling the president. There's a lot of speculation out there as to what exactly these pops were. We're combing the news wires to see if there's any official word on what exactly happened. But for now, we're saying that Trump was quickly surrounded and escorted off of the stage by Secret Service personnel after these rounds of popping noises that we heard, Carell. And as you heard from the people that were on scene and heard this happening, this was an incredibly frightening situation. I'll be back. I'm checking to see if anything comes through. We're obviously monitoring Truth Social as well to see if anything comes through the former president's official social media channels. But for now, you're seeing some of the reaction from people like J.D. Vance and Tim Scott, who are reacting to this very scary situation, Carell.
And Austin, I know that you're going to be on standby here. Like you mentioned, you're going to be checking social media, the internet, just trying to get all of the latest information on that. So we're going to check in with you in just a little bit. In the meantime, I do want to get out to some of that reaction, though, that is continuing to pour in on this day as we follow the breaking news of popping noises heard at a Trump campaign rally over in Butler, Pennsylvania. Take a look at this. We do have J.D. Vance here speaking out on Twitter, another potential vice presidential pick for the former president. Here he says, everyone join me in praying for our President Trump and everyone at that rally. I hope he is okay. Reaction does continue to pour in. We have, again, Tim Scott, another potential vice presidential pick for the former president. Here he says, please join me in praying for President Donald J. Trump and the safety of those at the Trump rally. We are still, again, working to learn what those popping noises were. It was a very tense and scary situation over at what was going to be just a run-of-the-mill rally, just as Austin did mention moments ago. And then
we're gonna see, Ben. I haven't even really looked into it.
Erupted. If you are just joining us now, we are following this breaking news story, and there you see a photo of what
I
Austin was
did
just
see looked goofy to me,
referencing.
but
You can see what looks to be blood on the president's face, on his ear.
I want to go through
it. He did go down as soon as we heard those popping
America.
noises.
On today's episode of America.
So we are trying to work and follow the latest. There has been no confirmation as to what those popping noises were.
Of course
we are working to see if it was potentially something malicious, potentially something dangerous. That entire crowd in Butler has completely dispersed at this moment. If you are just joining us now, again, this is breaking news that we're following happening earlier this hour. Trump taking to the stage just after 6 p.m. Eastern time, just after 3 p.m. Pacific time. About 5 minutes into his speech, we heard those popping noises. The president went down and Secret Service agents rushed to the stage.
Salute, hit the like button, y'all.
If you missed those
moments,
we're
about to do a live reaction. I haven't really seen it.
Here is what happened and what we're covering.
Secret Service with their hands over him. Good luck with that.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
That sounds like fireworks. The last of it did. Unless there was two hammers, because they were shooting over each other. They crossed each other. The sounds crossed each other. Right? They're saying he reached for his ear. Is somebody busting? Nobody else got shot? Nothing? But let's say no, they didn't really want to unalive him. Hit the like button, y'all. Get in here early. All right, you got guys with hammers. And what, you just pile on top of them and wait? That's it? Blood don't even look real or see. You see. I mean, our instinct, instantly we're all gonna doubt, and I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna take a look.
Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes, sir. Hold that in your head. It's bloody. So
he's telling them, let me get my shoes. What? They knocked him out of his shoes? Hold on, man. Let me get my shoes. What did you do? Take your shoes off when you went down, or do you take your shoes off whenever you give a big speech? Like, why you got your shoes off? Now they deaded that. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, photo op. Yeah. Gotta look tough when somebody supposedly busts at you. USA, oh man, listen, for those that are out there that don't know it, I don't, one side or the other, to me, they're both bullshit, all right? Democrats, Republicans, this is all a game right here, all right? Now, he empowered these people before to talk shit to men like me. So if he empowered them before, imagine now. Now they're super empowered because what? They took a shot at him and they couldn't get him. America. Hit the like button, man. Thought it sounded like an airsoft gun or something. I get the same vibes watching this as I did watching January 6th. Phony baloney. January 6th was just gas them up and let these dummies play themselves. That's what that looked like to me. January 6th. Let me gas them up and let them play themselves and then be like, nah, man, I ain't telling them to do that shit.
All right, we wanted to show you that entire
What's up, girl?
Event in its entirety. A very tense and scary situation over in Butler, Pennsylvania, as we continue to monitor this breaking news and developing situation.
It's quite possible. It could be staged. All right? What they do? They smudged his ear up down there. Now let me tell you something. Yeah, if it was a trained sniper, he not snipping no ear. Here's the problem with it. We gotta see if his ear is really blown up. You know what I'm saying? If his ear really blew up, for all we know, there's a 75-year-old sniper somewhere or a 12-year-old sniper somewhere, and he licked the shot at him or something. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, if he's missing a piece of his ear, he's missing a piece of his ear.
Watch out.
Yo, I just don't understand what all this hugging shit is. Like, we watch these movies, right? We watch these Sicario movies. We watch these movies where you got Secret Service and you got all of these agents. And this shit, every time they get into something, it always looks like a clusterfuck late reaction. And what are they doing there? Holding their hands over him. What's that going to do? You know what I mean? Biden's going to throw himself on a grenade. That's how he's going to succeed the nomination. He on the next episode of This Is America, Biden will lay on a grenade, all right? It's going down. Where did the other bullets go? Anyone else hit? And that's what I'm saying. Listen, I don't know nothing. This is the first time I see it. Somebody hit me up in the comments and said, hey, this and this happened. I jumped on it. I just saw this hugging at the end and this fist bump, and then I went back to the front. We're going to watch it a couple of times and listen for it. I'm going to get better quality. This is a live feed from, I believe, Fox. It was the first thing I saw and grabbed. But I asked the same question, Fernando. What all them shots, nobody else got hit? And, this guy right here, nobody even looking that way no more. This lady got a smile on her face right here because that's what it means to be America. You get shot at and you survive. But this guy right here, he's trying to find buddy that did it. You know what I'm saying? He's eyeballing the whole scenario while they hug him. Try to get his shoes back on and shit. Yeah, fuck it. Fuck him. Yeah, America. Yeah. Bro, what a clusterfuck. If there was more gunfire, if there was more We lose our president, bro. What they protecting him with their fucking arms? Stop it. I'm sorry. I mean, if he was our president or any president, it just looks. It always looks like the Secret Service ain't ready. You know what I mean? Like they got caught with their pants down. Just like when he somebody tried to tackle him or some shit last time. He was on his own. But yeah, where's the other victims? No other victims? Also, they don't know if there was more than one shooter. They let him get up and fist pump. Absolutely. And to me, I heard those pops overlapping on each other as the crowd was yelling. I don't know. That to me is a sign of fireworks or more than one weapon. This shit look like some Saturday Night Live shit though, don't it? Look, I'm gonna point out right here. Look right here when these two chicks get right here and she pulls her weapon and stands there with her back to them. This shit look real Saturday Night Live right here.
All right, we wanted to show you that entire event
Hopping
in its
noises.
entirety. A very tense and scary situation
Who's
over
the
in
patsy,
Butler,
huh?
Pennsylvania, as we continue to
Who's
monitor
the,
this breaking news and developing
Harvey
story,
Oswald in this
popping
one?
noises.
Fernando, great questions that we'll likely never get the answer to or the truthful answers to anyways. Facts. I would hope it's real for my sanity, but it doesn't seem right. No, but even if it is real, it's also stupid. Like we live in this is National Lampoons. All right, we living in National Lampoons USA, bruh. On today's episode of National Lampoons USA, somebody took a pot shot at the president and missed, or at the former president and missed. All right, it's bullshit. Either way, like even if it is real, it's still some "this is America" shit, man. Hit the like button. Yo, you people watching on the vertical stream, y'all greedy as fuck with that like button, boy. Salutes. All right, let's go back. Let's check it again. We hit a pop, pop, pop. All right.
Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator elected and to
just
make
pointed
sure
at
we
dude.
take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it, and it's not easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
No.
And it's much tougher than if it happened. We had the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you? Because these teleprompters are so damn boring, I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it.
If people don't
They're getting
understand
better.
show business, then y'all don't understand what Buddy been doing. You know, this dude is, they all are. This is all show business and bullshit, bro.
With time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
Yeah, he ain't that good of an actor, bro. So if it is set up, he didn't know when it was coming and if it was coming. He felt something physically. He felt something. Salutes also on the check-in. Sounded airsoft-ish, but it could have been something, some small caliber. But whatever ripped through his ear didn't hit nobody behind him, because it didn't get lodged and stuck in his ear, right? Where's that at?
Want to really see something
bro.
that's
This guy's not, he's show business, right? But he's not an actor. He's not going to act out that whole flinch and that grab and all that shit. He's not doing that. He got hit with something.
Take a look at what happened.
Yeah, there's a delayed reaction and everything. It's like the first one hit him.
Please see something that said, take a look at what happened.
It sounded like there was two weapons. Right there, it sounded like they crossed over each other. I could be mistaken. Ben said, I don't know what to believe anymore.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania, and it seems like
tomorrow he's coming out in his white Scarface suit. You think you bullets can kill me? Fuck you, bullets. You can't kill me.
Popping sounds.
Yeah, I hear echoes too, but I also hear what I feel like sounds like them, you know, on top of each other. Because the first ones were slow and deliberate, and the next ones were rapid.
Over in the back.
But he ain't acting out that.
Take a look at what happened a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Like, oh shit, he felt it. These people all got down and then they got right back up. Yeah.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania.
Hit the like button, y'all.
It seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret Service members kind of have former President Donald Trump duck there from the podium. I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
We're clear. Let's move. Nobody got hit with whatever hit him in the ear. It didn't land nowhere.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
Let me get my shoes. You got a Secret Service trying to save you. This looks like a scene out of Saturday Night Live right here, or out of like a National Lampoon's movie, or like this is Will Ferrell and his Secret Service right here. All right. Crash Out got his conspiracy theory on inside job. Who inside who though? Who's inside? Which inside, man? His inside? His people did this to him?
Move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
He said, let me get my shoes. They trying to save his life. And he also, let me get my shoes. Why your shoes was off, bro? They knocked you out your shoes? Now, he was down there and what they was doing, y'all. They were putting the makeup on his ear all that time. We're going to see if he lose a chunk of ear or not. But I'm telling you right now, he wasn't acting when he got whatever hit him, hit him. Yep, I'd be like, get me the F out of them shoes. I'll F them shoes. Yeah, you got to get out of there without the shoes. But he's a stubborn old dog. You know, he want to leave there with his shoes on. Sleepy Joe sent his hitters. We woke him up, or they woke him up to get paid. Yeah, come on, man. America, motherfucker. Yeah. Wow. There's an old lady back there, caught that 22 long rifle with her teeth. Yeah. That's going to be the cover of the paper tomorrow.
Okay, they are escorting the former President Donald
Trump. I just don't understand. I'm going back, y'all. The Secret Service looks funny to me. They look like they
kind of have popping sounds over in.
Don't know what the fuck they're doing.
That's a little bit old, man. Take a look at what happened.
Shout out 298 Sosa on the check-in. 298, you was granted a membership for the month yesterday. Salute to you, man. Those memberships went out to a bunch of people that deserve them, to be honest.
That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
All right, that one startled him. Might have hit him already, but he ain't felt it yet. And he grimaces and grabs his shit. He ain't no fucking trained actor. He can't make that shit up. And everybody heard that. Something hit him. Something
I
hit
want to
him.
really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania, and it seems like popping sounds over.
Crash out, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. Jay Leno don't look like he got burned in a fire after his surgery, Shy. Okay?
In the background, we've had the Secret Service members kind of have former President Donald Trump duck there from the podium. I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
We ready?
Yeah, that's probably why that airsoft sound is all about. Suppressed. Probably not 298. I'll probably watch it, but I probably won't go live. I've been catching up on editing all day, and then this happened.
Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move.
Did they just say shooters down?
Shooters down. Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move?
Shooters down, they said.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to move? Let's move. Let's move. We're clear.
They're clear to move. The shooters down.
Come on. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. I got you.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold on, your head is bloody.
So we got to move to the bus.
Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Watch out.
Salutes Rilo on the check-in. America. Fuck yeah. Oh, salutes.
Okay, they are escorting
Enjoy the fight, 298. Salutes to you, bro. Have a good time. Be safe.
the former President Donald Trump away from this podium over in Pennsylvania. You just heard moments ago what sounded like a popping noise. No confirmation as of yet as to what that could have been. It really could be anything at this point. We don't know if it was shots fired in the distance. We don't know if it was possibly fireworks or something.
Something hit that man in his ear. William Palmer said, I live an hour from here in Pittsburgh. Many hills surround that place. So you're saying somebody could have had a decent vantage point. I believe it. I do not doubt it.
Something of that nature. But you see
something hit him. Something hit him. All right? If it was staged or whatever, then they planted something to prick him in the ear because something did hit him. That reaction that he had, that was a human response, a human reaction, a reflex reaction. I don't believe him to be acting in that instance.
Entire crowd there really
all I know is that it's the
like
Secret
Michigan
Service
to
that
the
make the
Badger
shit
State.
look hilarious.
Make sure everybody that came in was checked, and that's what we see when we go.
Now, I heard the word shooter down, but I also heard another plane, I heard another airplane talked about on September 11th that disappeared as well. So, but I heard them say shooter down. So if there's no shooter down, then I don't know what's what. Shout out Zoraida, we are live, all right? On today's episode of This Is America, someone took a shot at Donald Trump, all right? What's going on in the chat is the thoughts are it can be an inside job or it's staged or somebody actually did lick a shot at him from a mountaintop. All right, he had blood on his face when he stood up, but already instantly before that blood started trickling, instantly we was all saying that's bullshit, that's fake blood, the blood. We've had every conspiracy in the first 5 minutes of this shit. This is what we do as people. We don't even watch the whole thing before we done made up our goddamn mind. You know what I mean? But that's what's happened on today's episode of This Is America. All right? Crash, I said he got shot or grazed. Yeah, I believe he got grazed. I believe something took a piece of his ear. You know, I believe he got the Evander Holyfield going on. Also said he had blood when he stood up. He did. Earlier, one of the brothers here, might have been Velez, whoever it was, Fernando, somebody said that the blood looked, oh yeah, it was Velez. The blood don't even look real. I mean, that's our gut instinct. How the fuck we know from this grainy image? I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? I can't. When I tell you what I can tell, something hit him in the ear. Something hit him there. Wasn't just like the sound of it and he ducked or nothing. No, something hit him there. That's crazy. So again, and don't get it twisted. While I was setting things up to go live, I said, what if this is all a big publicity stunt? That could be too. But we come from a country where this type of shit happens, all right? The 60s was assassination central. Rilo said, F that, I stand for Trump, man. Don't you guys see what's going on? Is the government and they trying to divide us. Man is bigger than us. Man to the CIA. You gotta slow down, Rilo. I know you hyped up right now, but you gotta slow down to your voice to text or type that shit right. All right. Trump said, F that, I need my red bottoms. Yeah. I'm not leaving these here. Yeah. This is who knows? We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out if it was some kid, if it was some old man, whatever. Right? Salud Zoraida. Great. She said great topic. Zoraida, this is breaking news. Too. This is America.
He's a valiant fighter. He's a great gentleman. So we're gonna bring him up can we bring him up for a couple of minutes later?
Rilo said I don't have the information. I'm not saying the information. I'm just saying like type so I understand. But I got you. I'm just fired up over it. My dad told me 2 weeks ago they're gonna kill him. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion. We've been feeling that way since the first time he ran. You know what I mean? William Palmer said it too. Divide and conquer agenda. And to me, there is no. To me, some of y'all, unfortunately, and all of these people here, and the liberals that are fucking crime at, all of y'all fell for the divide and conquer already. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fell for it. To me, there's no divide and conquer as far as I'm concerned, because I'm fuck the Democrats, fuck the Republicans. It's all a scam, and we're the ones that pay for it at the end of the day. And nobody gives a shit about us. You know what I'm saying? Velez said, dude's a showman, puts on a show to get votes. He was already putting on his show. I said that before they licked the shot at him, right? What I'm saying is, from what I saw right here, something happened to his ear. Something happened to his ear. And he ain't a cold enough actor to act that reaction for something not to be happening. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, you know, this whole divide and conquer shit. This is the divide and conquer is this: them separating you from your money. Period. That's the divide and conquer on both sides of the aisle. It's all bullshit. Politics done sucked the blood of this country and its people and has made zombies out of us. And some might not agree with me with that. You know, it is what it is. I remember a day when people didn't know who voted for who. You didn't share that information. I miss those days. But now everybody flying the flag. Why? Because everybody's in a fucking game. Everybody's in a game. We live in a world of choose sides. I'm going to decide who's on my side. I'm going to decide who's on the other side. You know what I'm saying? And I'm separate from them. So please, I get it. Divide and conquer agenda. But it's already worked. It's already happened. We passed that already.
All right. You get ready, McCormick. You get ready. I'll get you. Because they're thinking like not make him. That's all we want to do. A place with a gorgeous ocean, the Mediterranean, the Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
That's him being a showman right there.
Thank you.
That's what he does. That's the being a showman. That part. That's the being a showman right there. You know what I mean? Now, taking a shot, of course, everybody's going to be like, it's bullshit, it's fake. All right, cool. Rilo said, I know, I just need to take a deep breath. I salute you. I appreciate you. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? I understand. I could see this happening on both sides. This, to me, I could see some bullshit happening on both sides. All right, hit the like button, y'all. Salutes. Nah, man, we don't get no love around here, 298. Motherfuckers treat that, they treat that like button like it costs something. Salud Zoraida, I appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's the show business in here, man. Even if the other...
Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator elected.
And I ain't one to defend this guy. I'm not one to defend the other guy either. I think they're all jerk-offs.
And to make sure we take back the White House.
And I think we're funny as a people because we're just the victims of them. And we'd be like, yeah, we pick a side. They ain't no different than picking a side with chomo crime bosses. No different.
Because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it. And it's not easy. Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened.
Salutes Bobby D on the check-in. He says, salutes, just hit the like button, my guy. You speaking the truth. Salutes, I appreciate you. Thank you. You know, and again, I don't hold it against my people. Y'all believe what in y'all believe in what y'all believe in, but just don't ignore my words. Understand what I'm trying to tell you here. You know, that I feel like we've been co-opted a long time ago. You know, Dershio said Simpsons made a prediction on Trump's unaliving in 2024. Did they? Now they pushing it. They did something else the other day too. Crazy, the Simpsons. Saludos to the usual suspects from JFL. Salutes to you. Zoraya said she was in the wrong chat. You was in the underground, girl. No, they did this because they see his real power and they're going to lose. Yeah, I mean, there's crackpots though on both sides. We say them like they hired somebody to do it. For all we know is some jerk off with a gun. That's it. We don't know that. Is it quite possible that CIA sent it? Yes. Is it? All of these things are possible, right? But Occam's razor, man. Maybe the first simplest explanation is it. Maybe, but we be jumping to mad fucking conclusions around here. Salutes. Salutes to the chat. Salutes to everybody in the building.
You know, we had the strongest border ever. In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love?
Salutes Adrian Torres on the check-in. He says, salute Shy Guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. Please do.
Love so much. You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you?
That's show business.
Because these
That's what he's doing right
teleprompters are
there.
so damn boring. I try and explain that. Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys. Take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big...
Salutes 298. Go and catch the fights. Enjoy yourself. Have a good night. Be safe. Peace.
Red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country.
Shout out Eric Alvarado. He asked, when did it happen? I don't know. We've been up here 30 minutes, so I'd say maybe 45 minutes ago.
And then...
Shout out Rilo. He said hit the like button. It's free and on socials. Rilo, is your old man watching right now? Does he know that this is happening? Salutes. Rilo said, please share, and I agree with him. Salutes to y'all.
Worst president in the history of our country took over, and look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Listen, man, and here's another thing. There's some real crackpot sitting on the roof. CIA, not CIA, doesn't fucking matter. Quarter inch to the motherfucking right, and Buddy's head is gone. If he got hit with a projectile from a rifle, quarter inch to the right, and Donald Trump is the past, bro. That's what we looking at here. Real talk. Now, to continue to bust, who was he busting at? Because he only got off...
Thing that said, take a look at what happened.
True. He got off 3 shots before the old man was already on the ground. So who was he busting at after that? Mind you, we haven't left this video yet, so we don't know any breaking information or none of that. Hit the like button, we might find out. vertical viewers, hit
this
that
event
like
happening
button.
over in Pennsylvania, and it seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret Service
just wanna
members
see the Saturday
kind of
Night
have
Live
former President
service
Donald Trump
stand
duck
up real
there
quick.
from the podium. I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
Get ready. We ready? Are we good?
Shoot it down.
Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. We're clear.
Shooters down. We're clear. We're clear. We're clear to stand up and cover him with our arms. Oh.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Let me
Look,
get my
these
shoes.
two jumped the gun. They walked away.
So
Get my shoes. I need my shoes, bro.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
Microphones were off down in the bottom. Oh no, they got up closer.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
Okay.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Watch out.
Yeah. Fuck. Photo op, man. He's a show business, right? He's gonna make the most of surviving that whatever just flew past his head. I don't know if you ever had a bullet pass that close to your head before. It's a very scary thing.
Okay, they are escorting
But
the
where did
former
that bullet
President
go off
Donald
to?
Trump away from this
It didn't hit
podium
this
over
truck?
in
It
Pennsylvania.
didn't hit
You
nobody
just heard
over here.
moments
It was
ago
going in this
what
direction.
sounded like a popping noise.
Popping noises, huh? All right, let's see if we got any developments. Let us see if we got any developments. Salutes, I appreciate y'all. And I'm sorry to shoot down y'all's politics. And I know people get riled up about it, but they don't get riled up for you as riled up as you get for them. That's just how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. I don't appreciate them. I don't appreciate their divide and conquer mission. I miss the days where people didn't know who voted for who. Shut the fuck up and talk. No religion, no combat sports, no politics at the table. Rilo said got everything shared. I appreciate you, sir, because I didn't even think I was going to be live today. All right, let's see if we got any new information we could find. Let's see if there's any live news on this shit. I'm going to hit that same video because it's been live.
What's your first love?
And see if they got any additional information. So rather the game start, it's popping over there. It's happening. I was not going to be live today. All right, they're just playing it over. We don't got no updates. No updates. Let me see. Let me hit these live channels right here. I don't believe it. I think it's a show I'm watching now while we are eating. Yeah, I don't think it's a show. I think America's just made us cynical. When I'm cynical, everybody tells me to not be cynical and to see it for what it is. I think it just went down. Something went down. Yeah, they could have paid some crackpot to take a shot at him for publicity, but something hit him. Something hit him, made him bleed. Would we have thought nobody would say it was a show if that shit was a quarter of an inch to the right? Probably even less, some millimeters to the right. We'd have been telling a different story. If half of his face would have came off, we'd have been like, oh shit. It's what is it? Treason, treachery. What's up with these live channels though? I'm trying to find breaking news, possible shots fired. Here we go.
Oh, exactly.
What up, Raven?
Where
Raven,
he
tell
is,
us what you think, man.
Or
This
what
shit
his
is fake.
condition
Y'all
is.
think
We're
this shit is
told
fake?
that he
I
has
don't
been
think this
seen
shit
by
is
a
fake.
medical professional, and his
team issued a statement themselves explaining that the president thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act, and he is fine. It says that more details will follow. And this is where we are, trying to gather as many details as we can. Our Bob Costa has gone to so many of these events. He's covered these rallies. He understands.
I said, I bet Sleepy Joe sent an immigrant.
Really,
Sleepy Joe don't have to send nobody. That's how much in a tizzy they got everybody. Joe ain't got to send nobody. And Trump ain't got to send nobody. There's 30, 40 people in that crowd that's willing to put their life on the line for dude. You know what I mean? Because he got everybody gassed up like that. People that need to be gassed up. Politics is politics, man. This shit is a gang war.
Just the feeling in the air, Bob, of when you're there and there are so many people, and, you know, President Trump supporters, you know, are known for how passionate they are. What does it feel like when you're actually there? What is that atmosphere?
There are people who follow former President Trump's rallies across the country, almost like some people follow musicians. It has often reminded me, as a Grateful Dead fan, of how people would have the fervent following for the Dead. That a lot of people have the fervent following for former President Trump. They'll go from city to city, arena to arena, because there's
Amendment. Yeah. I think he is.
A sense of jubilation among his political supporters that the rally has a convening power for those who are like-minded to come together and support former President Trump. I've seen him everywhere, from the South Bronx to California to Texas to Florida. He goes everywhere, arenas, outside. He's unlike most politicians. He focuses on rallies as the place where he can really bring his people together. So, and there have been incidents in the past of some unruliness at his rallies, protesters.
They said shoot it down. I expect to get it. I expect like a body or somebody arrested for this. They said shoot it down. Now, will he have will this shooter have a Z at the end of his name? Like a Alvarez or a Gutierrez or Hernandez or, that we don't know.
It's always Secret Service protected. This is something at an entirely different level. Someone discharging a firearm, it appears to be, at the former president and perhaps at others there.
I'm being told that we have new material coming in, Bob. I'm going to play that to see what it shows.
Tell us the new material,
have that material?
Girl.
New video from the scene.
Let's get it.
While we get to that, while we look at that, I'll bring in Margaret Brennan with some new reporting.
I've just been trying to make phone calls to make sure everyone is safe. The Senate candidate, Dave McCormick, who was in that front row.
That's kind of weird to me too, though, Velez. Like we talk about. I just saw a video of Kamala Harris saying, "Oh, he's gonna try to. As soon as he gets in office, he said he's gonna get rid of the Constitution and all this, that, and the other." But everybody's trying to get rid of pieces of the Constitution because there's a certain group of people fighting against the Second Amendment like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is just a gang fight. People done chose their sides and their things, like their shit to cape for, their crusades. Trump is good at marketing. This was staged. All right.
Confirmed that he is safe at this rally, but there are reports of other individuals in the area who did have contact here of some sort, injuries of some sort. So I'm just trying to call lawmakers to confirm their whereabouts. But
you're absolutely right, Zoraida. The blood could have been from when he hit the floor, right? I agree. They could have make up him up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying that reaction, something hit him in his ear. Something hit him. Something hit him. The delay between the sound and the delayed reaction, all that, something hit him. How they shoot his ear, but didn't anybody behind him get hit? We're asking the same question. Where did the rest of that go? Because it ain't gonna get lodged in your ear. You know? The bullet popped a pimple. You know what I'm saying? Like something.
What you can
in
see
order for them to fake that, they got to put something to bite at that ear to get him to pull that reaction in the way he did, and the timing and all of that shit. Like this is
So you have been seeing our inboxes are just exploding with emails from Democratic lawmakers, the Democratic governor of Pennsylvania, Josh Shapiro, coming out condemning political violence, the governor of Michigan, Democrats very quickly to condemn this act of violence, to distance this from their political party in any way. There is no suggestion that there would be a connection, but they are very clearly trying to, out of the gate, say that there is no place for political violence in our politics at this moment of such high tension. An important message to be sent.
Les, you think he would take away the Second Amendment? He want everybody to have their hammers, as far as I'm concerned, what I knew. And look at Secret Service reaction as well as bad actors. But my point is, Analia, that we give these Secret Service and these people a lot of these props. We see these movies. We think we know how they're supposed to move, how they're supposed to act. You know what I'm saying? And when the shit hits the fan, we see how goofy it looks. It ain't the shit that we believe it should be. Because I said, the first thing I said when I got on here was the funniest shit I saw was that the Secret Service looked like Saturday Night Live. Like Will Ferrell did that shit. Raven Jefferson said it's only just begun, and a lot of people that went to the White House with all that madness are mad at him now because they went to prison with their dumb ass. Salutes upper echelon on the check-in. But let's say he did the old school WWF and cut his ear with a blade, and the man's been in the WWF, so it's quite possible. This is crazy. I agree.
At this
Where
moment,
I disagree with everyone upper echelon is that some people think that this is made up and it didn't really happen. It was staged. I ain't seen that yet. You know. Nobody's safe, including Trump. Salutes think like a kingpin on the check-in. Fernando said Trump doesn't care about guns. Just knows conservatives love them. Right.
Just 4 months out from a race that was already quite tense. And we're seeing world leaders. We're seeing the Hungarian prime minister, the Israeli prime minister, others describing this as an attempted assassination of the former president, current leading candidate. Not just for the Republican nomination, but potentially another 4-year term.
And Margaret, I'm
just actor,
the Israeli prime minister, others describing this as an attempted.
That was a double. That was a E. You know what I'm saying? He did that shit, man. That shit hit him. Something hit him. All right. I don't know what it was, but something hit him.
Assassination of.
Think like a kingpin says staged. Imagine if they missed the target and they was a 1/4 inch from missing that target, maybe less, millimeters. Because if you get hit in the ear, that shit is just a couple millimeters to take your cheek off. You seen that Project 2025 thing? I have not. Don't even know what it is.
The former president, world leaders. We're seeing the Hungarian prime minister, the Israeli prime minister, others describing this as an attempted assassination of the former president, current leading candidate, not just for the Republican nomination, but potentially another 4-year term.
And
Margaret, I'm just getting an email now from CBS News contributor Richard Esposito.
Gunmen neutralized by Secret Service.
It says that according to multiple state, local, and federal law enforcement sources, the shooter who fired at Donald Trump was, quote, neutralized, as we have reported, by U.S. Secret Service agents. This was most likely from a counter-assault team. Multiple spectators were wounded and injured, at least one in critical condition.
All right.
This is all based on...
We were asking where the other hits are. Now we're hearing about them. I want to know where they were at in relation to all of this and who got hit and what's what and where they were at, all of that shit.
Reports, but what is happening now is we're starting to piece together what is it that exactly transpired. This is an active crime scene.
It is, and our reporters who follow every movement that the candidate makes, Jake Rosen, Olivia Rinaldi, were there. They saw it happen. They heard it. You can see from that very rough video that they dropped to the ground. And by the way, political violence is not necessarily a norm in this country, but let's put this in the context of not just the moment we're in, but what we, as reporters, have been preparing for, which is the expectation that in this election cycle, there very well may be political violence. And our reporters do train for that now. That is something you do typically when you go overseas to cover an election, but now our reporters are doing that to cover these rallies, to cover political conventions. And so we are happy to know that those two reporters are safe. But as we're seeing from the video, they are
I want to see if there's a chunk missing here.
Feeding in.
I just watched one of the videos Jake Rosen sent in, and he's talking to attendees who are clearly traumatized. And one gentleman, I'm sure we'll have it soon here at CBS News on Air.
Watch YouTube flag me because of his ear. But he grabbed his ear before. I believe he grabbed it after. I believe we saw also a delayed reaction when he grabbed his ear. We'll watch it again, though. If it was professional, they probably wouldn't have missed. The more I think of it, it didn't seem like he got hit in his ear, though.
Shirt that clearly had blood on
hit him in the ear.
In some capacity. And so you're seeing reporters doing their jobs for CBS News and other outlets, but you see those attendees just rattled by the experience of being part of a violent event.
Because even if there was an intended target, as there appears to have been, to have a shot like that, multiple shots at a very well-guarded stage, there were people in the area who were also hit, which suggests, and if you could hear it, it didn't sound like an automatic weapon, but there were others that were hit in the area, and we are being careful.
His poll numbers go up.
And when we are reading these initial reports and editing, I would have to say, some of the graphic detail that we are getting from some of our reporters on the ground.
And we're just getting a new update that from our reporters, Olivia Rinaldi and Jake Rosen, and I'm sure you're getting this update as well.
Watching the Vertical Live.
That people are being escorted out. Jake Rosen spoke to an emergency room physician who saw a man shot in the head with brain matter on the ground. That's according to an ER physician performed CPR, but he didn't. Room physician who saw a man.
Being careful, and when we are reading these initial reports and editing, I would have to say, some of the graphic detail that we are getting from some of our reporters on the ground.
And we're just getting a new update that from our reporters, Olivia Rinaldi and Jake Rosen, and I'm sure you're getting this update as well, that people are being escorted out. Jake Rosen spoke to an emergency room physician who saw a man shot in the head with brain matter on the ground. That's according to an ER physician performed CPR, but he did not. He's dealing with that.
But let's think like Kingpin said, bro, Trump got street cred. That's it right there. Yeah. Took a shot. All right, he's on his Tupac 50 shit right now. Those shot after Trump went down were probably the ones from the Secret Service. Look it up. Shit's crazy. We'll do it, Les.
At this moment, that's Jake Rosen, to be clear, Jake Rosen, our reporter on the ground in Butler, Pennsylvania, has spoken to an emergency room physician who saw a man shot in the head with brain matter on the ground. That's based on Jake Rosen's reporting. Jake looked at the camera after the incident, saw blood coming from Trump's ear in some way, his neck. Jake was on the scene. He was our reporter on the scene. Scott McFarland, who has been on the ground doing excellent reporting as well, heard, in his view, 8 to 10 explosions based on his reporting. He said the crowd ducked based on his reporting notes, hit the ground when a popping sound occurred. To Margaret's point, it was a popping sound. The press was under the risers. They saw Secret Service swarm to the left of Trump following the incident, saw helicopters come in.
She can't even get her hammer back in the holster. Look at her. This is the one I was laughing at earlier when they pull up here and they pull their weapons out.
Based on his reporting notes, hit the ground when a popping sound occurred. To Margaret's point,
pulls your weapons out. She's standing there.
The press was under the risers. They saw Secret Service swarm to the left of Trump following the incident. Saw helicopters come in a few minutes after. That's based on on-the-ground reporting from Olivia Rinaldi, Jake Rosen, and Scott McFarland.
Adrenaline. I'm not in the.
And we do have that reporting that at least one person has been injured in critical condition, and it is still early. A lot more details will come out. People's conditions change. They go up, they go down. We'll learn more about, hopefully, President Trump's condition. We are told he is safe, but we don't have the details. Was he hit directly? Was he just grazed? We're now being told that Vice President Kamala Harris has also been briefed on the incident. We know that President Biden has been briefed by members of his cabinet. Now Vice President Harris has been briefed. She was also addressing crowds today at her own rally, as was the First Lady. All of these figures out on the campaign trail as this campaign heats up. And this is happening, this political violence, at a time when there is such tension in the country, yet people still are going out to support their candidates, still taking those risks and going through all the security measures needed to be there, to see the Democratic process play out. And now we're seeing really the cost of those risks. Clearly a catastrophic failure of security. The Secret Service is investigating.
Somebody back here in
this is a
corner
live investigation, and many questions will be asked in terms of what went wrong. Who was able to enter this area? Were they able to shoot at this area from outside the security perimeter? We still don't know. It's still early. We're still just getting initial details in, but the crime scene is active. We are told by our reporter, Olivia Rinaldi, who was there, that crime scene tape is up. The area has been cleared. We have heavily armed security personnel who have entered this fairground, essentially is what it is, in Butler County, Pennsylvania. And this is a part of this battleground state that has supported former President Trump twice. They went for him in 2016, again in 2020. So this is somewhere where he enjoys a great amount of support. And of course, for something like this to happen, chaos ensued afterward. This is what we saw on the video. This is what we're told by our reporters there. We now have some new video. We're going to play it for you right now.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Okay?
Yes, don't.
We're okay, we're okay, we're okay.
This is video from She follows President Trump. She's been to countless rallies like this.
Attack as it took place. You see Rachel Scott from ABC, our reporter Scott McFarland in the bleachers. There's chaos in the press area near the stage. Former President Trump raising his hand in defiance.
America, fuck yeah.
As he's escorted off stage after the incident. We just got a statement
the blood. You can see.
for CBS News. We just received a statement from President George W. Bush. The former president said, quote, "Laura and I are grateful that President Trump is safe following the cowardly attack on his life, and we commend the men and women of the Secret Service for their speedy response." So as more
salutes IB on the check-in. He said, "Wow, I literally heard it here first. What an epic mess of an election year." On today's episode of Dysfunctional America, Rilo said he definitely is pro-gun, and he's the reason the First Step Act was passed. There's so many people home from prison early because of Trump. Southwest T list goes on and on.
Margaret said Democrats and Republicans coming up with statements tonight showing solidarity at this American moment of attempted violence.
This American moment, if this is nothing else. If it's nothing else, it's an American moment.
The possible assassination attempt of former president also weighing in.
And the reason I underscore what our colleague Scott McFarland was saying in terms of a catastrophic failure of security is this was not unexpected. That is the point. The Secret Service was already on edge. All U.S. law enforcement. And you've been reporting for weeks that
there's been a sense of on edge throughout the world, but especially at U.S. military bases.
Well, certainly, but
that's the cover of tomorrow's New York Times, New York Post, whatever magazine, whatever newspaper. That's tomorrow's headline right there. All right, JFL said that's going to be the cover of his next Hollywood movie.
Even just our Pat Milton was reporting earlier this morning, ahead of Milwaukee, any mass gathering these days is of high concern because of the threat environment.
And you saw how quickly they rushed the stage. They were there on edge. Like you said, we actually have new cell phone video that shows what appears to be the shooter down on a rooftop. Now, this is consistent with information we're getting from federal sources saying that the gunman possibly fired from an elevated position. Let's take a look at this video.
So that's the other shots that we heard overlapping. They triangulated where he was at from the sound of them shots, and I guess Secret Service had their own snipers. Didn't peep him. Somebody tweaked. All right, but they neutralized him on the roof.
It appears that we're seeing someone on a roof there. Potentially, this is someone who was outside the security perimeter. I'm going to bring in our reporter, Olivia Rinaldi. Olivia, what can you tell us? We've been getting some of your video in the newsroom here. What did you see? What did you hear?
Adriana, it was a terrifying moment. Trump was probably a few minutes into his remarks, and all of us were waiting for a vice presidential announcement. Instead, we heard successive loud noises, loud bangs that were playing. It sounded like shots. We immediately took cover. I pulled out my phone and I started recording. You can hear my voice there, pretty shaky. You could start to hear Secret Service also through Trump's microphone trying to get him down on the ground. We were down for probably, it felt like a lifetime. It was probably like 30 seconds or so. And then I popped my head up and I could see Donald Trump surrounded by security and Secret Service and pumping his fist. And he wouldn't, they were trying to get him off the stage and he was resisting them a little bit and putting his fist up in the air. After that happened, they cleared him. We could hear the motorcade leave right away. Our security personnel was with us as well. We had all gotten down. We saw Scott McFarlane next to us, and a couple of pieces of equipment also fell down with him as we got down on the ground. Chaos ensued after that. I was looking at the bleachers to the left of where Trump was, and you could see people cleared out of there. You could see some blood on the bleachers as well, and I watched police unfold yellow crime scene tape and put it there. It was shocking and it was scary. Reporters that I talked to, I mean, we're at these rallies multiple times a week.
What you mean? And Ivy said, why are they still there just standing around? That seems crazy to me. No, they've cleared the area by now. This is video that's just, the video keeps coming into the news stations and they're playing what was happening.
I was just at one in Doral, Florida. It's the unimaginable.
That ain't going to be the cover. This ain't going to be the cover, though. This face that he got right here.
I was just at one in Doral, Florida. All
right, but please, when you guys see Secret Service and it looks goofy to you, go look at every other Secret Service instant that they had to deal with a shooter. It should be looking like that. It looks like panic, the same way any other shit looked like.
It's the unimaginable, but it's something we prepare for, and it's something that, as Margaret was saying,
EG is wilding. EG got to be some Chicago shit right there. He said Trump and the insane Pope's gonna clap back. If you know, you know. Salutes. IB said, yeah, I mean the crowd right then in the video. I didn't think it was live. No, yeah, they were still there, but he was neutralized quick. So I'm sure he was on that roof for a minute before they cleared out all those people.
Personnel to prepare for, but overall, just a very, very tragic event that happened here today.
It's something you can prepare for, but never really be ready for. Olivia Rinaldi, thank you for that report from the ground. Margaret, this is at a time, as you were saying, where the threat has never been higher.
Exactly, and on many fronts, foreign and domestic. But I wanted to underscore and come back to when I said this wasn't unexpected, I meant because of that threat environment. But I wanted to go to the specific language that was in a report our Pat Milton put out earlier today. She obtained the joint threat assessment that was in preparation for the RNC that's just about to get underway in Milwaukee, that large Republican gathering. And at that time, law enforcement said no credible specific threats were identified at the time in the assessment, but there was a warning that the RNC could be viewed as an attractive target due to the symbolic nature of the political convention. So they were putting out a general warning to be on alert in Milwaukee, where a lot of those Secret Service agents are concentrated right now. The Secret Service that was with the 45th president and Republican nominees, who we're looking at ushering him off stage. In that photo, you can see him with his arms around those officers encircling him. They are with him at all times, his detail. But I'm just underscoring here that the FBI, Secret Service, DHS.
Shout out Jace the 197 on the check-in said they failed the mission. They got close, man. I'm telling you, man, quarter inch the other way, millimeters the other way, they're in his eye.
Milwaukee Police Department, Southeastern Wisconsin Threat Analysis.
So I said gunman neutralized. What is he, a dog?
Center. All of them right now out in Wisconsin are on high alert because of this political violence, domestic violent extreme.
Jason said, who's the shooter? Release his name. We probably don't even know his name. He probably didn't go there with any ID in his pocket. He probably didn't expect to go home.
Which means somebody radicalized here at home, and the terror threat.
So that's it.
So this is an environment where we are all on alert. We have to learn more about that shooter who has apparently been neutralized, as we've been reporting.
Gotta learn more.
They'll want to understand his motivations, any connections he might have, whether he was a lone wolf. any other details as our Sam Vinograd and others who are operators can give better context to. But I just want to make sure we put into context that there was a warning that went out as early as this morning about the potential for violence at the Republican convention. As we can expect, there will be a similar warning at the DNC when it gets underway in August.
A warning, and here we are. Political violence unfolding at a political rally in America. Scott McFarland was there. He was ushered out by security personnel. We have him now on the phone. Scott?
Should just won him the election, boy.
Scott, if you can hear me, go ahead.
What am I doing in front of him?
But he was better off not missing.
Can you dial into that same number?
We've lost Scott McFarland, but I'll bring it back to our discussion here and summarize what we know so far for anyone joining us now. Shots have rung out at a rally in Butler County, Pennsylvania, where President Trump was addressing a crowd.
Jason said, Shah, you going to cover the convention DNC next month? I feel it's going to be like 69. Woo! It's dangerous. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll be outside. We shall see. We'll see how important it is to me. Because, yeah, I think this whole shit is a joke. Everything. It's all fucking bullshit. Ivy said, did they actually fail the mission? We're assuming the mission is as it appears, but in no crazy conspiracy theorists or anything, so that's where I'll leave it. That's exactly what I was thinking, that it won them the election. But, you know, everybody's going to have an angle on, you know, it could have just been a crackpot took a shot at him, didn't happen. That's naturally going to grow his shit. Or he set it up and got himself hit in the ear, bit in the ear by a little baby gator or something. But everybody's going to have a theory. There was theories before the first drop of blood or fake blood hit the ground. There was already, you know, everybody made their decision. He set this up, or they set this up, or this, that, or the other. It's, you know. He said, I agree, it's fool shit. You know, so maybe I'll be there. If it's going to get crazy, I'll be there.
Of thousands, something that
I'll be there asking the question, do you know this is all bullshit on both sides? Do y'all know? Do you know? Do you guys know that it's bullshit? That you goofy and you goofy right now? Oh, okay, nobody know. Crazy part is this toupee didn't even get any blood on it. I looked at that specifically. I was looking for hair with blood on it. There's a couple of strands right there behind his ear.
he does day in and day out. These events have happened so much. The security protocols are typically so tight. Metal detectors, wands, bomb-sniffing dogs, Secret Service in uniform and in plain clothes. And we saw, as soon as what sounded like firecrackers rang out, Secret Service personnel rushing the president, removing him from the area. His fist goes up. He puts his hand to his head, and you can see in the close-up photos of the president blood on his face. We have been told by the Trump campaign, as well as the Secret Service, that the president is safe. We're told that he was examined or is being examined by medical personnel. We don't know where he is at the moment. Our Scott McFarland, who was on the ground, reported that he saw a helicopter arriving on scene. Bob Costa is here with us.
Scott McFarland has been doing exemplary work along with our team on the ground.
Shout out IB. He said, yeah, I have no way of knowing. I just got funny feelings about him and his campaign the whole time. But that's all it is, and nothing surprises me one way or another anymore. And that's what I'm saying. Anything, this is the game of politics. I'm going to eat off of whatever bad happens to him. Even if I didn't create it, I'm going to capitalize on whatever bad happens to me, even if I didn't create it. But the conspiracy theories were rampant right away. Right away, he's the greatest actor, and he could flinch and timing and throw himself on the floor. And then while he was down there, they put makeup, and it's like, yo, we're watching this shit like as it's happening on grainy video. We seeing pictures, and I want other answers. We didn't see nobody else fall. Now we know that other people fell. I want to know, where did they fall? They're saying people were unalived in this mess. And they say they have a shooter down. So I want to know about him too. Like, we make our decisions without any of the evidence. Period. We all just witnessed a piece of history together. El Cartel, salutes. We showed this. Salutes to Ivan Northside, because he ran up in the comments to let me know. I just happened to be looking at the comments for something, and boom, here we are. On a serious note, yes, we did. Absolutely, we did. Absolutely.
Since he can't join us just now at the moment, to reiterate Scott's reporting and our reporters on the ground. Scott says he heard between 8 to 10 explosions, popping sounds. He saw the crowd duck. He hit the ground when he was sitting under the bleachers. He heard this popping sound. The press was under the risers, most of them around that area, very close to the stage. They witnessed the Secret Service swarm to the left of Trump following the incident, climbed on top of the former president. Then they saw helicopters come by a few minutes later. They did see Trump head toward a motorcade. Helicopters arrive in some way. Our reporters on the ground, Olivia Rinaldi and Jake Rosen, just to underscore what we know, this is an active crime scene. They're setting up tapes still.
And I'm pretty sure he's not going to hire nobody to actually hit him. You know what I'm saying? He got hit. That fool got hit. Right? It's the same thing they say, what they say, Suge Knight. Suge Knight was a fucking 800-pound man in a small Beamer with a very tiny man next to him, and they were just airing that tiny man out. And he got hit in the head, and they still managed to say that he was the one that called that hit. And it's like, come on, man, we're not thinking here. Ivy said, wow, yeah, the first attempt in a presidential candidate on a president, yeah, Anna. First attempt on a presidential candidate in my lifetime. Man, it's a big deal. It went down. Bobby D said, Trump setting this up is like saying Suge set up Tupac. You don't plan a hit and put yourself in the crossfire. Bro, you reading my fucking mind? Back up. Salutes Bobby D. Bobby D just fucking read my mind. Salutes.
Talking to bystanders, witnesses, blood seen on the bleachers, blood seen on the T-shirts.
Probably not, Velez. Is he going to just get over it like he tells other shooting victims? Or he going to use it to his advantage? That's what I mean. This is politics. He's going to use everything to his fucking advantage. Right? And whatever agenda that the Democrats can use to have this help them to their advantage, they're going to use it too. That's the game. That's the game. Doesn't matter who did it. Whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. You know? Ivy said, or did someone shoot Ross Perot in the early 90s, or is my imagination making that up? I don't remember Ross Perot getting hit. Quite possible, though. Or at least an attempt on him. She was a young Thundercat. You didn't give a shit probably about Ross Perot back then. You just reminded me his name. Shit.
Hands of those leaving this rally, people being escorted out. There was a lot of anger, confusion in the air. Jake Rosen spoke to an emergency room physician who was there, who says he saw...
Cacico said this is an old tactic. But what's the tactic? Who did what? He got himself shot? Did he get shot at all? Was this all an elaborate hoax? There was no brains, no bodies, nothing? Crazy, crazy times indeed, Rallo.
A man who he believes was shot in the head.
And Bob, we have that video. Let's play it right now.
I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around and was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There was lots of blood.
Dang.
And he had brain matter there. And
come on, man. Listen here. Somebody died. This guy got blood all over him. There's things we didn't see on this camera. Cut the shit, people. You know what I'm saying? People lost their lives. Might have been that same bullet that hit dude in the ears. He got hit in the ear. There was an active shooter out there. I'm looking into it right now to make sure, but I think this is my first in my time. Could be.
So I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was there only one person shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person. And there we have an eyewitness account from a man who says he is an emergency room doctor and rushed in to help a victim who had a gunshot wound to the head. We are also getting news from the Associated Press reporting that the shooter is dead. And
from our affiliate.
KDKA.
Our affiliate, yep. KDKA, that the Butler County District Attorney told our political reporter, John Delano, that 2 people are dead. That's the shooter and an audience member. So the suspect we referenced as already being neutralized, add to that an audience member. So one bystander at that rally
And
has lost his life.
And former President Trump injured, still trying to figure out the exact number of those who were potentially injured beyond Trump.
That's right. That's right. We have people on the ground. As you can imagine, we're all trying to get in contact with our reporters, either because there's so many phone calls being placed or because of security protocols. It's hard to get signals out. They're struggling. A lot of us, you see us texting because that is, frankly, easier than getting people on the phone. But there are a lot of people who went to that rally there, as you were just talking about. To go into a rally like that, you go through levels of screening. So when you were showing that rooftop, I would assume that that is at a distance from the rally, that was not someone who was in the confines of the area where the rally was taking place.
He
We
looked
don't know
like he
that
was
yet.
in the
We
confines.
need to get that kind of context from.
He looked like he was in the confines because, like Ivy said, there was people standing around looking at him. Velez is wilding the fuck out. Velez, are you willing to be a liar like these politicians just for politics' sake? How dare you? How rude. He said, put that video in slow-mo. You can see the blade in his hand.
that was not someone who was in the confines of the area.
I don't know. From what Ivy said, it looked like dude was not far from the confines because there was people standing around out there. No Republicans would shoot at Trump. Fishy, fishy. MAGA. Salute Ralphie Ralph.
Area where the rally was taking place. We don't know that yet. We need to get that kind of context from law enforcement. But I imagine that's why our producers in the control room put up that video for everyone to see.
And like you said,
I don't understand even what that means, Zoraida. The poor bystander died by the supposed shooter. Okay, so we're saying that somebody else, you're saying that this conspiracy is that deep that, yeah, somebody else could have bodied somebody in the audience just to have the body so that we can make all of this look real. That's what you're saying? They're going all kind of real lengths right now. That's a lot of real lengths to go. Not impossible. Not impossible. Quite possible. Huge conspiracies actually happen. Conspiracies that are actually real, that have actually been proven, right? I think some guy was on a rooftop, licked a shot at Trump, hit somebody else, hit Trump, and got done up. That's what I think so far.
Our affiliate
Until
there.
I see the blade in his hand, like Velez saying, I'm going to watch it again to make sure.
In the area, we are being...
IB says, so there's been lots of attempts and plans, but the last president or candidate to be injured was Reagan in 81. Yeah, see, that one, I was around for that one, but I was a baby.
Told that 2 people are dead. The shooter, as you said, Margaret, and an attendee of this rally. I want to bring in Sam Vinograd, a former DHS official, a contributor to CBS News. Sam, where do you think this investigation is right now? What are officials on the ground doing?
That's it. Also, this is America. This is America. They can't hear her.
We may have lost Sam. Sam, can you?
Crash out. Is that the truth, crash out, or is that sarcasm? I hope he's okay.
So just to reiterate, we have Butler County District Attorney telling KDKA political reporter John Delano 2 people who were at this rally are dead. That includes the shooter, according to the Butler County DA, and an audience member, former President Trump, appears to have been grazed in some way.
Top G said Trump is fine. Oh, we know. We knew that when he left the stage right there and said, fuck him. Fucking America. We knew he was just fine.
By a firearms discharge.
And we don't know how many other injuries there may be.
No, but our reporters, Jake Rosen and Olivia Rinaldi, Jake Rosen has provided interviews already about people leaving the rally with apparent signs of either being injured or being near people with apparent injuries, blood on their shirts, blood on their clothing. These are people who are Trump supporters attending the rally.
And everybody had their phone out, so expect more camera phone footage to come out.
In Butler, Pennsylvania, former President Trump is reportedly in a safe space, according to his campaign. The President Biden, briefed on this, as has the Vice President.
And I should say, I believe we showed that rooftop because of the reporting we had that this was from a distance and an elevated shot.
That it may have been, yeah.
But we should say, in the environment we are in, it is not difficult to get a weapon that you can get through a metal detector. And it is not.
That it may have
See,
been,
that
yeah.
looks like
But we should say, in the
fairgrounds right here.
environment
Or
we are
is that
in,
just
it is
people
not
came out and
difficult
gathered
to
around
get a
there now?
weapon
Okay.
that you can get through a metal detector.
She said a
Not
metal
all weapons.
detector.
As we talk about those 3D printed guns and other kind of weapons necessarily will.
Shout out Gilberto. He said that Higa almost got murked. Crazy shit. I'm telling you, dog. He almost got murked. And everybody's like, it's bullshit. He set this shit up. He did this shit to himself. Like, bruh, he was millimeters from getting a chunk of his face taken out. If they can't lock you up, they just try to take you out. Ain't that what did speaking of Top G over here, what did Andrew Tate say? First they try to what? Was it first they cancel you, then they put you in prison, then they try to take your life? I said no jokes aside. See, that's not all jokes aside. So I don't know when I can take you serious and when I can't. Salutes. They can't lock you up. They try to take you out. Yeah, man. I don't think there's no publicity stunt. So that you said he's spot on, but I need to. I don't know. You're busy, so I'm not gonna hold you to it right now. We get after it, another time when you're less busy. But as far as also saying, he's saying the other side tried to get him right now. I thought you was of the belief that he did this shit. This was set up. This was staged for him to look a certain way. I'm saying I don't know who sent him, but somebody got at him. And I'm with Gilberto. Bro almost got murked. Period.
Will be detected. And so we should give that caveat. But that rooftop we keep showing, I'd love to get more detail or context to that.
And no security is 100% tight. We go to these events, supporters go to support their candidates, politicians who put themselves in front of crowds.
Photo op. He wasn't going to miss the photo op. You know who would have missed the photo op? Joe would have missed the photo op. You know what I'm saying? This is politics right here. I'm the victorious. You couldn't take me out. You think you kill me with your bullet? Fuck you, bullet. That Scarface. What? Wasn't that his last words and shit?
This day and age, we all know the risk.
This right here, this slit, could that be it right there? This little slit right here. I don't know if y'all can see my cursor. Look, I see other angles. We gotta break this shit down.
But as you said, Bob, former President Trump loved these types of events. He loves these types of events. He likes to be as close to the people as he can.
His hand in the air as he leaves stage. He's on his feet. This really has, you can see him there ducking down. Something hit his head in some way. He ducks down. It really reminds any person who has looked at history in the past 40 years of 1981 when President Ronald Reagan was shot at the Hilton Hotel.
Forget Reagan. We almost saw dudes cantaloupe get knocked off. We really almost, we was millimeters from seeing dudes cantaloupe pop. Ivy said it's honestly way more likely that it was actually someone trying to get him and not him staging something. I wouldn't put anything past him, but I don't think he would risk looking weak in public. Even looking weak in public, what he did at the end for his people and to make sure that magazine is going to have him on the cover and that paper is going to have him on the cover. You know what I'm saying? Even Ivan agrees with me over here. I eat your bullets. I eat your bullets. Huh? You think you kill me with your bullets? That's what he's on. He's on this Scarface shit, man. Hey, man, I need some props. I need people to hit that motherfucking like button because I'm working 2 live chats over here, all right? I got a vertical live chat and I got a horizontal live chat, all right? I got everybody's comments both on the screen. Like, we doing work. The least I could do is hit the fucking like button. God damn. Salute Vernon Hines. What up, my dude? Man, we trying to crack the code over here, figure out what happened. Who did it? Who done it? Who done it? Salutes. Ivy found me on Discord. Salutes, Jonathan. We glad you got somebody gave you the holler. All right. Bobby D said Trump's a G. He said F getting into an ambulance, just put a Band-Aid over it. Put me in the car. And like, we're going in the car. Give me my shoes. And Aaliyah said, here's the thing, Shai. The whole drain the swamp and the Trump is trying to get me. What? Here's the thing, Shai. The whole drain the swamp and the Trump is trying to get me is what works for Trump the best. Yeah, but he didn't do this shit to himself, mama. Somebody took a shot at him. It happens. This is America. It happened to Reagan. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man, that's going to be the next Trump Photoshop flag. It's going to be him as Tony Montana. You can't kill me with your bullets. Fuck your bullets. I eat your bullets. That's what he's going to be on. I hit the like, unlike, just so I could hit the like again. All right? Salutes. Vernon Himes. Put these people in their place. Swamp is trying to get me. Is what works for Trump. Oh, it's going to work for him. This is going to work for him. That's politics. What did Lawyers for Workers on Instagram just say? He said, you take a shot at the king, you better not miss. You just strengthened his situation. A couple millimeters off from knocking down and ending his run. You know? So, even if dude thought he was doing it, let's just say he's some wild man that thought he was doing it for Joe Biden, right? Yeah, doing it for Joe Biden. He just did his party a disservice, right? So, I don't know, man. It's too many angles. And we just started looking at it, right? Oso said, hit that like in both chats. Salutes to Oso. He jumped the fence and went and smashed the like button over there. Salutes. Did they catch the guy, Vernon? They unalived the guy. They unalived the guy and somebody...
Jonathan Pinto just sent $5 salutes. Kill my dude. Thanks for your resilient grind and always being here for us. Finding ways to grow with your quality content. Shootwood and blessings to the committed chat members. Like and subscribe. It's free.
Salutes to Jonathan Pantoja with the $5 power chat. Let me pull it up right here. I wasn't prepared today. Shout out Jonathan. He says, salute Shail, my dude. Thanks for the resilient grind and always being here for us, finding ways to grow with your quality content. Shout out and blessings to the committed chat members. Like and subscribe is free. Salutes to you, sir. Appreciate you being here. We're going to get through it over here. Vernon, they unalived him, and somebody that was watching in the stands was unalived as well. So there's one victim that was there as a, there for the party. And then we have and we have the shooter unalived, right? So he couldn't tell the truth, right? Whatever it was, yeah, he ain't never gonna tell the truth. It sounded like they got him quickly though, because I told you, it felt like I heard overlapping rifles. They might have got him quickly. Could be a former student from the Trump School of Business who got screwed. Quite possible. Could be somebody that worked as a construction worker for him a long time ago and got paid shit. Somebody he screwed out of a business. Shout out Jay Castor on the check-in, said, who shot me? But you punks didn't finish. Now you about to feel the wrath of a menace. He's on some Tupac shit right now. Salutes Jay Castor on the check-in. I appreciate you, sir. Yo, this shit is stranger than fiction, y'all. She said, Jonathan, I beat you. Jonathan, she's catching flights and shit. She's skywalking and still beat you, bro. Salutes. Yeah, no, this shit is nuts.
Hotel just outside by John Hinckley. His
Secret Service looked like Saturday Night Live, bro.
Reagan ducked down into his motorcade, went ultimately to George Washington
University. Again, my opinion is he's no actor. Something hit him in his ear.
University Hospital, just a few blocks from...
IB said no shortage on people with motive. Absolutely. Facts. And again, like I said earlier, probably before you got here, is that in this group of people, you'll find 40 people that are no shortage of people that are willing to crash out for Trump. You know what I'm saying? And go do something to somebody.
From CBS News here in Washington. And there was so much confusion in the wake of that.
Vernon said, I don't want anyone taking them out before all the fun starts. Fernando said they already made videos with Trump and 50 Cent's Many Men song. The internet's undefeated. The internet don't wait for nobody, all right? Internet gonna do what it do. Jonathan said, I don't wish death on anyone. Imagine being unalive for being at a rally. Bruh, we almost saw that shit happen. Millimeters away from that dude being over with. I wonder if anybody would say that it was all for publicity if his whole melon would have fucking blown all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Could have been Mike Pence taking revenge. As a matter of fact, I think you nailed it, JFL. That's exactly who it is.
That shooting, Reagan wasn't fully aware of how he had been shot, if he had been shot. In some way was saying maybe he can just go back to the White House. Ultimately, they decided to bring Reagan to George Washington University Hospital. These decisions happen sometimes in a nanosecond that can have enormous consequences for global politics, American democracy, a presidency. We do know the President Biden's been briefed. Former President Trump, his campaign says he is safe. And KDKA has been told by the Butler County District Attorney that the alleged assailant, attempted assailant, the shooter, is now dead. The shooter is dead along with a participant in the rally. And that coincides with what I heard from one of the attendees on the record. Congressman Mike Kelly of Pennsylvania told me just a few minutes ago on the phone, it was mayhem. People were ducking down onto the ground. There was concern that many people were being hurt. And
our Scott McFarland is outside the rally, outside where the...
So, the shooter unalive, the rally attendee unalive. Crazy. Vernon said, wonder who they gonna blame it on. So far, everybody done blamed it on somebody already. As soon as this shit happened. Shout out Ivan. Ivan left a comment, I believe, in the comment section on the channel. Oh, he said, I was watching it live, saw the whole thing unfold. Fernando said, I've never liked Trump the politician, but I never wanted him dead because I know his followers would turn him into a martyr. Right. His followers and him are two different things. He just knows what they are and he's able to gas them up. And I'm not talking about the person who's thinking politics. I'm talking about the person that's thinking power. Right? You got to get it. Don't get it twisted. There's fanatics and then there's supporters. There's two different things. You know, but I agree. I agree.
This all took place. Let's bring him back in. Scott.
Scott, why you look confused? Scott,
somebody checking?
Go ahead, Scott. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. It's Scott McFarland in Butler County.
Scott, go ahead. You're on the air. What is the latest that you're hearing, and what can you see from where you are?
Okay. Sorry for the imposition. We're having some bad cell phone signals here, and it's part of the response that we're also kind of pinned into a parking lot right now. Over the past hour, we've seen law enforcement and Secret Service just move people back further away from this scene. It is quite clearly an active investigative scene. I also noticed 2 helicopter landings, a minimum of 2, about 2 to 5 minutes after the former president was ushered off site or ushered off the stage. We know there are people in paramilitary gear, sidearms, moving through this area. Secret Service is here, so is local police. But a good chunk of
that
this
ain't the
crowd,
picture they're going to use.
Estimate hundreds of people still remain near the site, sharing stories, some of them sharing embraces and tears, and trying to watch what happens next, even if from a distance. And everybody we're talking to has a similar story to tell, that they may have mistook it for firecrackers. It was that type of quick pop and the same decibel and the same tone and tenor of a firecracker, but everybody recognized within short order it was gunfire, and they hit the ground. We spoke to a lady who was in the front row, just steps away from the former president, who also described seeing a teardrop-style form of blood.
Hell yeah, Vernon right on stage. We're going to play it again. Oso's back. He jumped the fence back over to this side, to the horizontal side again. We're going to play it again, Vernon. If you're watching, we're going to play it again right now.
On the side of his face and a little more around his ear. And she heard him say, "Got to get my shoes," to Secret Service, she says, before the former president was ushered off the stage. In Butler County, this is a fairgrounds. This is a farm fairgrounds where there are events that have people not of this size, but of quite a large size.
He was in the middle of his speech, Vernon. He just started his shit.
There's hundreds, if not thousands, of chairs. I'd estimate the crowd here as thousands today.
Let's pull it back up. And let's go back to the video itself. Vernon, hope you got your reading glasses on. All right. Let's take a look at this shit again. All right, here we go.
You know, your current senator, I never met him. I don't think I've ever met him. I was only there 4 years, but I don't think I ever met him. I'll tell you, that's your senator. He votes with Biden or whoever happens to be furthest left. We got to get him elected. McCormick. We got to get McCormick. Press McCormick. He's a good man, too. He's a valiant fighter. He's a great, great gentleman. So we're going to bring him up for can we bring him up for a couple of minutes later? A little bit later. All right.
That's exactly right. The people are pacified.
You get ready, McCormick. You get ready. I'll get you up here. The world will see a vibrant Republican Party that is bigger, stronger, more confident, and more united than ever before.
Let's get to the good shit.
There's never been any talks about we have to stop MAGA. MAGA means make anything. That's all we're beautiful pick. Thank you. To get a senator elected.
Here we go.
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it. And it's not easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened. We had the strongest border. God, I go off playing that. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
We're watching here live this event happening over in Pennsylvania, and it seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret Service members kind of have former President Donald Trump duck there from the podium. I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
We ready?
I be saying, man, he's on some pills. Did anyone else hear that slur in this speech? Bro, I slur and lisp when I got a toothache. Y'all sure it wasn't an acorn? Quite positive.
Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear.
Shooters down. Shooters down. They got him quick. I believe they got him right when it went down. Right when the shots went off, they did, dude. They picked up on where it was coming from quick. Look at that grimace, man. This dude ain't no actor, man. This ain't no Trump De Niro over here.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
That right there is them getting muddy. Bernie said, holy shit, they had him looking right that way too. Damn, that's crazy.
Here,
facts. Analia said, notice how they don't cover his head and let the camera cover the angle of his face. If it was real, they don't know if there were more than one shooter. They have to cover all angles of his body. Notice how, see, you guys gotta tell me who they is, because it seems to be two different days here. Notice how they don't cover his head and let the camera cover the angle of his face. No, don't. If it was real, they don't know if there's more than one shooter. They have to cover all angles of his body. They did. They had him on the floor with their back to everybody. They would occasionally look back, but they knew they had guys with ARs behind them too. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna convince me that this is that this didn't happen or that it was staged or some shit. They meaning the Secret Service. Yeah, I got you now. They don't cover his head and let the camera covered the angle of his face. Yeah, I thought that too when they was jumping up in front of him with their hands up. I'm like, what's that gonna do? But he's also not the type of old man who you could push his head down and walk him out. You could have done that to Joe Biden, push his head. This guy's gonna buck back. He did already for the fucking shoes. I just don't see this being him setting this up for publicity. I don't see that.
Over in Pennsylvania, and
I don't say for real, man. Come on, hit the like button. It takes like 2 seconds. Please don't. No, fuck that. Please, we ain't giving them no please. 2 seconds, do it. Helps. Thank you. We'll thank them, but damn, we ain't got to beg for a like. Not that you're begging. I'm saying us as a people, we ain't got to beg for their likes. They gonna do what the fuck they want to do. Rhino said, "Give me my Jordans." Vernon Hines said, super close to his head, super close to his head. Wow, dog, millimeters, and they'd have took his face off. So like I said, I believe if someone really wanted to put him out, they would have gotten closer. That is not close at all to a lost location. What does that mean, to a lost location? And what do you mean closer? How much closer they can get from the ear to the brain? What more can the people ask for? The man's fighting RICO cases. He's been effing shot. He's certified. He's a gangster now. Many men. Vernon said, "Wow, I called it years ago. They can stop him, so they try. They can't stop him, so they're trying to unalive him." Seems to be the consensus. If they're starting people in the chat, they should be 13. There should be 13 likes. Yeah, we don't. By now, yeah, the likes are over the concurrent viewers. People have come and left already, so it's all good. We good. We just gonna keep grinding it out. It is what it is. Vernon said, "Ignore me. I meant to say if there are 13 people in the chat, there should be 13 likes." Yeah, yeah. If y'all step in, wipe your feet and hit the button. That's it. It's easy. DE said, "Had to be someone from in front of him if they got his ear and not his head." Also, some people behind him got shot. Wonder if it was a 22. That was my thought. Anything with a bigger diameter bullet wound would have taken the ear off. That's how I was feeling. That's exactly how I was feeling as far as that goes. Shout out Smoking Guns Customs. What the F? What the fuck is going on here? Hold on, man. I need my sound effects. If we're going to be here, we're going to be here. I need my shit right. All right? My shit right. Salutes Perfecto J777 on the check-in. Salutes, yeah, man. I you know. Fernando says, "Sha, I got a former law school buddy, Mexican cat, who used to be a Secret Service agent. Messaging him about the handling. Please do. Tell me if they got caught with their pants down and they was just wilding and trying to figure shit out, or if all of that had to be protocol." And Aaliyah said, "Yup, had to be a 22." Yeah. That's the first thing I was thinking is what's missing from that ear. Does he look like Evander Holyfield right now? You know? Salutes. All right. Let's get back at it.
Seems like popping sounds over in the background. We've had the Secret Service members kind of have a former President Donald Trump duck there.
I feel like it was very quick between the shots and them neutralizing the perp.
From the podium, I'm going to pump up the audio so we can keep listening into this happening right now.
That's what this is what Smoking Guns Custom came in here talking about.
What the F is going on here?
That's what the fuck is going on.
You ready?
In my shoes. Shooters down. Let's go. A loss of life location. But do you mean like the ear being a loss of life location? Like that vicinity? I mean, somebody lost their life. It just wasn't him.
Are we good? Shooters down. Are we good to go?
Absolutely. They said shooters down. They said shooters down. So that's why I'm saying it was fairly quickly. I believe that they were on him. As soon as those few shots went off, they were on dude. They were on dude. They figured out where that shit was coming from. Yeah, loss of life location, the brain. Well, that shit was pretty close, mama. I don't know what else you want.
Let's move. Let's move. We're clear.
Yeah, vital organ. Brain, okay.
my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
Get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
Get my shoes.
Let me get my shoes.
Get my fucking shoe. That's me though. I would have got my shoe too. Smoking Guns Customs, don't come over here with your fake nude. All right, we saw him on top of a building. There was video. They played video of his neutralized body up on top of the on a building. JFL said that they had Mexican Secret Service agents. They ducked the bullet. America, yeah, fucking yeah. Okay, you think you kill me with your bullet? Come on. Shot me 5 times. Real Trumps don't die. America. USA. I'm gonna go back to the video.
Okay, they are
on the roof
escorting
so
the former
guns.
President Donald Trump away from this podium over
But
in
look,
Pennsylvania.
this is
You
Saturday
just heard
Night
moments
Live.
ago
To me,
what
this
sounded like a
Secret Service
popping
shit.
noise. No confirmation
Push
as
his
of yet
head down.
as to
Y'all
what
ain't
that
covering
could
the
have
man's
been.
head, nothing.
It really could be anything at this point. We don't know if it was shots fired in the distance. We don't know if it was possibly
to me it's a fake operation. It
fireworks
means
or
people
something
don't
of
be
that
doing their
nature.
job all the way sometimes. You know what I mean? Let me pull up that other shit we was looking at so we could show Smoking Guns. The building dude was on. Supposedly this is dude on a building.
3D printed guns and other kind of weapons necessarily will be detected. And so we should give that caveat. But that rooftop we keep showing, I'd love to get more detail or context to that.
Anger, though, from the Trump side. This is a new social media post from Chris LaCivita, who is one of the top campaign advisors to Trump. He said they tried to keep Trump.
I hear nothing.
They tried to keep Trump off the ballot, and they tried to put him in jail, and now you see this. So you see a politically charged response from Chris LaCivita. The top
Taking it right to where Democrats are trying to prevent it from going. You saw former Speaker Pelosi issue a statement talking about the political violence her family had experienced and condemning it in this context and saying how glad she
I'm trying to see if somebody got shot in here.
Was that former President Trump is safe. You have the expectation that the White House will soon issue some kind of statement. We know that both the vice president and the president have been briefed on what's been going on. They themselves, of course, have Secret Service detail, and you have to imagine that there's an alert level across the board right now. But one of the things that we do need to pull back, that is just incredible. The former president was able to stand up. We heard him say, you know, get my shoe. He had.
Going live. We're going to go live. We're going fucking live.
A distance to take a fairly clear shot that close to a Secret Service detailee.
I just got a text from the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr. He's been on the phone with his father. He was not at the event. He says, as we've been reporting, his father is doing fine. He's doing fine. That's from Donald Trump Jr., the son of former President Donald Trump.
I understand our political reporter, Ed O'Keefe, is standing by. I believe he's in Milwaukee. Ed, are you there? Can you hear me?
Vernon said, yeah, gangster got up and walked it off like, okay, I got something for y'all. He got up looking like the President of the United States of America. Someone on the top left of the bleachers behind Trump is where one person got shot. I'm trying to see that in the video, and it's something to pinpoint, but there's a lot of color and shit going on. I want to take a look at that again because I didn't see no action like that looked like somebody was back there shot.
That's right, Margaret. I can. Can you hear me?
I can, Ed. We already knew that Milwaukee was in a heightened level of preparedness, security-wise.
This was in Pennsylvania, Vernon.
Because this
Butler.
is a large gathering. All large gatherings these days are highly scrutinized, but for the RNC, there's high security. Do you have any sense on the ground if protocols are changing or if any of the Secret Service you're seeing there has any indication of what went wrong?
We are, during the day, in the hours before this, we observed local police and other police agencies that get sent here to assist Milwaukee local police in dealing with things like traffic control, crowd control. They were out and about sort of reviewing the lay of the land, getting a sense of it. In the hours since then, we haven't seen a few blocks from the convention site any real change in police posture. But we know that around the time the former president's campaign rally was beginning, coincidentally, the so-called security sweep, or the thorough review of everything inside the convention perimeter, was beginning, led by the Secret Service. It was supposed to continue into the overnight hours. We'll see now if it is.
Shout out Smoking Guns. He said he's going to win for sure now. We just, we said that right before you walked in. We was like, yo, that's it. If Buddy was trying to do a service to his political party, he did them a disservice. All right, shout out Analia. Said that wound do look real, though. So does. He going to sell 1 billion T-shirts. Yeah, like this. Bloody ear, what? Listen, him and Mike Tyson already got those edibles that are little ears and shit. They about to do that all over again. It's going down. Everybody going to get some money.
Is potentially extended a few hours or not. And we'll also see, as Major was reporting earlier, whether there's any change to events that are scheduled to begin tomorrow. I know of one, for example, convention attendees from the 50 states and the territories are invited to a large outdoor music and festival area on the shores of the lake here for a big event tomorrow night. We'll have to see if that is changed in any way, given that it is an outdoor event.
What's up? He's coming out to do his outdoor event tomorrow? Huh? Let me get yeses and nos. We got to figure out some cool shit for here, for our yeses and nos. You know what I'm saying? Is Trump coming outside tomorrow? Well, he's spooked. He's going to stay his ass in the crib. He coming outside or he's staying in the crib?
Like the campaign event in Pennsylvania. But otherwise, hotels here are beginning to fill up. Preparations are underway. One other piece of politics that's worth conveying, Margaret, while we're waiting to see what exactly Republicans decide to do with their convention, the Biden campaign let it be known moments before the president spoke that the Biden campaign itself is moving tonight to stop all television and digital advertising across the country to acknowledge this moment, and is working to ensure that all outbound communication to voters, in essence, that's fundraising appeals and advertising, is stopped to mark this event. That is a notable pause, given that upwards of $50 million were supposed to be spent this month on that kind of advertising and other outreach.
We're going to see, man. We're going to come back to this shit
What you're
tomorrow,
saying, just to put it in context, this is already affecting the operations of a campaign 4 months out from Election Day.
Shout out Smoking Guns. He said you're going to be outside. Ivy said if there's one thing the Democrats excel in, it's doing their own party and supporters a disservice. He did that shit. Vernon Hines said, wow, Shai, best live I've ever seen on the net. Props. Salutes to you, Vernon. I appreciate you. We ran into some history thanks to Ivan. Like I said, I was already sitting here editing, uploading, and the comment came through and was like, yo, they just took a pot shot at Trump. I said, I'm on it. Vamos. Shout out Lisa Rivera. Say he's outside. He's coming outside tomorrow. We're gonna see.
It is also a choice, a deliberate choice being made by the Biden campaign to say this is not the moment for politics. It was very quickly that they got the president
here's the thing.
on.
I got a lot of y'all's immediate reaction too, which is dope. You know what I'm saying? I tried to talk a couple of y'all off a cliff because 3 seconds in, y'all was like, man, this is all bullshit. That's fake blood. And where the bodies at and all of this shit. It's like, hold on. Let the bodies hit the floor. Gotta let the bodies hit the floor. Let's take a look. Let's survey the scenario, see what really went down. Man, it ain't over. This is just the beginning, all right? Shout out Ivan. Salutes to you, sir.
Air. Tell me what you thought about the language chosen by the president and the thinking in the White House and trying to tamp down any kind of perhaps retaliation.
When the current president speaks about his predecessor and bitter political rival, I had never heard him before refer to him in that way, as Donald. To Adriana's earlier observation, I would surmise, based on years of tracking him, that that's exactly what he was trying to do, sort of tamp down the politics of this and try to emphasize the humanity. Donald, after all.
Shout out Analia. Analia said, I'm fairly new on this channel, still trying to understand the format, but when you blow up, don't forget us, Shy. Listen, man, don't worry, baby. There's no chance I'm going to blow up because I've been hearing that when you blow up shit, don't forget us for the last 25 years. So salutes to you. I'm going to be right here, all right? I appreciate you for being here. Any questions you have about the format, let me know. We basically a reaction channel that gets to interview the Flores twins every now and then. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. But let me know if you got any questions. Salutes to you. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be right here. I'll be right here or I'll be gone. That'll just be it.
Role is a man, is a human being, is a father, is a grandfather, is someone who's followed and adored by millions of Americans and people around the world. So the fact that he very clearly said from the beginning, I'm trying to talk to Trump tonight myself, is notable, and we'll see.
Yeah, he's trying to be like Donald. Bacon is 39 cents a pound at the deli. Donald, I didn't have this done to you, Donald. And then he gonna, let me see your ear. And then he gonna start sniffing his hair. Like, that's gonna be the conversation between Joe and Donald. Donald, I didn't do this, bro. Godfather, please. Should turn into a fight, man. This is a fight. First he brought us police officer shot by the acorn. No, that was, I believe that was Omar Carranza did that. He brought us the acorn, so salutes. But almost. Then he brought us the president and current candidate shot by actual bullet or possible acorn. What will he bring us next? Ivan, the man with two names. All right, but I think it was on. I think we're taking Omar's credit from him. All right, salutes. Vernon Heim said, I didn't know he was shot. Then I jumped in Shy's live and I'm watching history. It went down today, man. And according to the team, he gonna be outside tomorrow. All right, with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? He probably have a do-rag on and everything.
Whether or not that conversation happens, and the president didn't rule out speaking again tonight to try to help quell concerns across the country.
Kill me.
That response, different to the one that Trump made in the moments after this, though, perhaps understandable. And we'll just have to monitor here in the coming hours how these two leaders and perhaps former presidents, Margaret,
Trump
consider.
hair must be real. After that tackle on the stage and this, there's no way he got fake hair, bro.
Speaking out or doing something to try to quell the obvious rancor and violence that we've seen today.
Salutes Ivy on the correction, on the retraction, or the traction, as Sal from Howard Stern show would say, traction. Facts. Hopefully he gonna be all right. Who's gonna be all right? Trump? Trump's fine. He done wrapped that shit up already. He's ready to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? He's ready to go outside. He's about to go do his hit 'em up. And Aaliyah said you're going to blow up if you do a podcast with the twins. I guarantee it. I'm sure they down too. They can cover their faces like Oakland leaks. It get hot with the masks on and shit. Salutes, though. I appreciate you and I appreciate your support. We're always going to shoot for the best shit. So you never know. That might can happen. That might could be a possibility. He just got his ears pierced. Yeah, he got his ear pierced. One of them up here joints. Shy, you need a reaction video of Biden falling off of a bicycle. I feel like I saw that video out the corner of my eye. I'll do a reaction to that. I agree with you guys on the gun. It was definitely small caliber. It wasn't loud at all. I might just have a slight bias to people named Ivan. That's absolutely a fact. Salutes. Right? Salutes.
Could potentially see over the next 3.5 months as the campaign continues.
Yeah. And Adriana, apologies if you've already reported that, but our Pat Milton is saying we now know the weapon used was a rifle.
Rifle, of course.
That the shooter used that. And
we knew that shit before. I mean, we didn't have confirmation of it, but it was a rifle.
Video we were showing earlier of the downed individual appeared to be wearing fatigues. You couldn't see the weapon. And we don't know that that's the shooter, but we believe that video does reflect that was the eliminated threat Secret Service took down.
That's new information.
And confirmation from Pat Milton as well, from 2 law enforcement sources to her. The shooter was outside of that cordoned area, as we've been discussing. It was a couple hundred yards away from former President Trump. It was on that elevated structure, shot and killed by a member of the Secret.
He was right up on their ass. That ain't far at all. Am I tripping?
Secret Service information from Pat Milton.
Eliminated threat Secret Service took down.
That's new information.
And confirmation from Pat Milton as well, from 2 law enforcement sources to her. The shooter was outside of that cordoned area, as we've been discussing. It was a couple hundred yards away from former President Trump. It was on that elevated structure, shot and killed by a member of the Secret Service counter-assault team.
I mean, a
Mark
couple
said
hundred
the
yards.
shooter's weapon was a rifle. New information from Pat Milton.
In other words, a skilled shooter.
Somebody get me the Google Earth stat. Salutes.
To be able to take a shot like that at a distance with a rifle.
And to Ed's point, the current president is talking about unity.
What I mean by he was close is, you would think that they would have covered, you know what I'm saying, 200 yards away and would have been up on all of these spots. You know what I'm saying? They say they ain't saying how close the shot. They saying 100 to 200 yards away. I don't know. My name is actually pronounced the French way, but it is what it is. But the reaction of Biden on a bicycle could be a whole thing. We'll give that shit a try. Salutes. I even have family members that didn't get the memo. I totally missed all that. It's too loud everywhere I go. You could do a montage with all the crazy Biden footage. He had the drop on him. I feel like they would have covered that area. They dropped the ball. But again, how much land you gonna cover? Maybe. We'll see. Somebody's in trouble. We'll see, man. Right now, he's walking around his office. He's Tony Montana right now.
Trying to cut through the politics and talk about the humanity of the situation. The vice president has also issued a statement. She says that she's been briefed. She says, Doug and I are relieved that he is not seriously injured. We are praying for him, his family, and all those who have been injured and impacted by this senseless shooting. She continues and says that we are grateful to the United States Secret Service, first responders, local authorities for their immediate action. Violence such as this has no place in our nation. We must condemn this abhorrent act and do our part to ensure that it does not lead to more violence.
And new reporting from Nicole Skanga, a CBS News reporter, that it's still being determined if former President Trump was hit by a bullet or from debris. Some evidence he might have been cut by the glass. He's surrounded by teleprompters, which are plastic or glass, depending on the event, on stage. Different elements are on stage as well. Again, from Nicole Skanga at CBS News, the suspect was on a shed. Again, that elevated platform outside the security perimeter. Usually, multiple sources tell CBS News the president or Republican nominee would have some sort of protective glass in the area, but it's unclear at this event what the extent was of the security around former President Trump.
And shout out DE. He said he must have been a okay shot to get him from that distance. Yeah, now they're saying it could have broke some. We didn't hear nothing explode. We ain't seen no video of nothing explode. I still ain't seen nobody get hit in the stands if they're saying somebody got hit in those bleachers behind them.
This on a day when, you know, the campaigns are in full swing. Just today, I just read that statement from the vice president. She had a campaign event in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, that was indoors. These events have different levels of security based on the risk. There, of course, is more risk when you are outside. There is less ability to control all the elements. Yeah. We don't know.
Absolutely, Vernon. He got super close. He got up to 3 shots off that I noticed before I heard other shots like rapid, like he was in a gunfight type shit at that point.
Exactly what happened, but we do know that an alleged assailant has been neutralized. We believe him, if it is a man, to have been up on a roof.
CBS reporting at this point is that it is a male, and we're having communication issues ourselves on this end, and this is a breaking news environment. So stay with us in this fluidity. But I want to make sure that our control room in New York tells me that we have someone on the phone right now who was an eyewitness to events. I'd like to be able to speak to him.
They said they got somebody on the phone. Are they going to get Baba Booey?
Told his name is Josh Dresling. Josh, are you there, and can you hear all of us?
Yes, I'm here, and I can hear you.
Wonderful. Josh, can you give us a little context? Why were you at the rally today?
I was just an observer there to take some pictures and see the goings-on of, you know, this whole movement in our country, and then chaos kind of broke out.
You're a journalist, or why? You stood in the heat in an hour, and you went through security and at this campaign. You're a pretty interested photographer. Tell me a little bit about why you were there and what you saw.
I'm an amateur journalist. I mostly cover music and that kind of stuff. So this was more of a personal personal kind of adventure today. I was there and bared through the heat and went through the security with, there was several thousands of people there, and it was very hot. And I made my way to basically the center of the crowd. I was a little bit off to the right of the podium, about 50 yards away, standing there with, shoulder to shoulder with many, many other people. And then I heard one pop, and then a second pop, 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 and then there was like four or five that followed that. And it sounded like it came off from my right, which would have been Trump's left, where the video that you were showing, there was two people that were injured. I kind of think that these two people were in the line of fire, and that was the shots ricocheting on the
that we don't know yet, Vernon. If it was a white guy that shot him, we don't know that yet.
Aluminum grandstand kind of seating there.
Yeah, we heard some of our eyewitness reporters were saying that they could see blood on those metal boards in the stadium area in the infrastructure. What are we talking about there, and who is that from?
I didn't personally see blood on the things, but I did see them, like paramedics and whether it was Secret Service or military or whatever. They carried two guys out of there, and actually, it's one of the videos you've been playing was a video that I had shot, but they were carrying him down the steps, and the one guy was able to exit on his own with some help from the other people, but another guy was being carried out, and he really didn't have any expression or anything, and they took them off to the side and laid them on the ground there, and were attending to them at that point. And actually, I'm seeing the video on your station right now.
That's your video that you shot?
Yeah, right there.
You filmed? Okay.
Correct.
And can you tell us if you saw the image that we have up right now of the person injured, did you, with the American flag cowboy boots, were you able to see anything there? What happened and the...
IB said it's interesting they haven't described the guy at all, let alone identify him. I mean, I think things take time. It literally happened, 2 hours and 15 minutes ago or something like that. Because I got on right after it went down. It's going to take a minute. Get up there, get bodies off the roof, get the reports, and then they're going to hold shit back until they decide.
Extent of those injuries?
No, that gentleman there with the flag around him, they took him and laid him in the grass there, and they eventually loaded him into an ambulance. I don't know what type of condition he was in at that point. I don't have any further information as far as that.
Mm-hmm. What you mean, Fernando? Funny link. You want to drop a link over here? What are you talking
about? Okay, Josh, thank you. Adriana or Bob, did you have any questions?
I continued to hear from sources.
Vernon, ask whatever you want, bro. No apologies necessary. Yeah, but they unalived him, so they would have been able to identify him immediately.
Sources close to former President Trump, family members like Donald Trump Jr., top House Republicans, top Senate Republicans, they are all trying to give the family some space tonight as the family directly communicates with former President Trump. But those who have spoken to Donald Trump Jr. and other family members say former President Trump is reiterating to his closest advisors and family members that he is fine. But so many people on both sides of the aisle shook by this outbreak of violence in Pennsylvania. We are still trying to learn more about what exactly happened on stage. We have seen the images, we have seen the video, but what exactly happened in terms of the trajectory of the firearm discharge, if they were bullets, if there was some other type of event that happened in the vicinity of the stage. We heard from David McCormick, the Senate candidate, an eyewitness and sitting in the first row, watching the former president.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a lot of reasons they might not say the guy's name. They might have to, go look and make sure there ain't other people involved in this and don't want to give away this, that, or the other, and who knows. Jonathan said, ain't no one claiming to be a Trump supporter at the moment. Shit. Right now they are like this. Yeah! Motherfucker shot me 9 times. Real motherfuckers don't die. That's what he's on right now. Fed's going to search his house soon. Whose house, Ivan? The unaliver? They're going to search everybody's house. That's probably why they're trying to keep it on the low. Fernando said he's coming out for sure. Trump loves attention, even if it's bad. He's going to be outside. He's going to be outside. This is a link to a guy who helped the shot bystander. You can't put links in here. Links won't pop up in here for you, DE. Let me drop the Discord. I don't know if you got Discord, but if you want to jump in Discord, you can drop a link in there. Only wrenches can drop links in here, and I don't just be handing out wrenches like that, unfortunately. But I will pull up the Discord link and throw that to you right here. Copy. Bow. You go in there, drop it in the Il Cartel if you got a Discord. If not, no worries. There's a Discord for the other side too, y'all. Salute. Wow.
President, though, physically.
Ugh. This motherfucker shot me. Ugh. There's some people who don't want him in office, that's for sure. There's some people that don't want him on the planet.
Personally defiant, we're told tonight by those closest to him, doing fine. Everyone in his circle shook. And you saw President Biden tonight weighing in. Not just
I just hear the Stone Cold music, the glass breaks.
Statement on paper, but taking time in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, a place he rarely makes comments, to make a statement about how he believes this is a sick moment in American political history. Yes. Former President Trump fine, the shooter killed, another person killed.
It ain't no sicker than the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that get shot and die in ghettos every day. Right? Eric Alvarado said there's already $25 Trump many-man shirts on sale with 50-cent bulletproof vest image and Trump face for sale on Google. I don't doubt it. This is America, man. America and the internet, they're the same thing. They don't miss.
But you see a security failure, as Margaret Brennan and others have been detailing with their reporting. A.T. Smith and others have been discussing. To have someone as CBS.
Smoking Gun said the timing on the fist pump, though. Understand something. I was saying earlier that, that he's a showman. This, that. I said he was already doing his showman shit, right? Boom. He get hit. He go down. He come up. He took that political opportunity, which that's what that is right there. He took the photo op. He went for it all the way. You know what I mean? He's a showman. He wasn't going to let that moment slide. He wasn't going to look like he was going to get his head pushed down and dragged down the it's bad enough. He took a shot in the ear and had to flinch. He didn't want nobody to see that shit. Salutes. Fernando said, in terms of the elections, people who are Dems are reps. People who are Dems or reps are voting for their party regardless of what happens from here to the election. I believe the big issue for Biden and the Dems will be if voters stay home because of the lack of enthusiasm of Biden. Yeah, quite possible. Again, I believe that too. Everybody who's picked their side, already. Vernon he said this shit is crazy. It is pretty nuts. But yeah, Smoking Guns, he's a showman, bro. He's a showman. He knew when that fist bump was gonna come up. What? They're looking at me looking crazy up here. That's what he looked like. Look at him.
But you see a security failure, as Margaret Brennan and others have been detailing with their reporting. A.T. Smith and others have been discussing. To have someone, as CBS News has confirmed,
admit, bro,
on
all the filthy skeletons in the closets, whatever, bro. This dude's life, his span on this planet, and the connections and the branches that come off of it is fucking bananas, bro.
Elevated structure, not that far, just hundreds of yards, mere hundreds of yards away from a former president of the United States. One of the
I be made the illest link right now. Yesterday, for those that missed it, we covered Alec Baldwin's case being thrown out. Ivy said, anyone else think it's suspicious that Alec Baldwin had his case thrown out yesterday and this happens today? Just saying. Salutes. Trump was going to start throwing gang signs. He was in the car, shaking up, boom, with all of the Secret Service.
The most
they can't stop us.
Arguably protected people in the country. All former presidents of the United States have lifetime security from the United States Secret Service. A breach today in Butler, Pennsylvania. You can see the alleged suspect who is now dead, on the roof of this structure not far from the crowd. And you had eyewitnesses now pouring out of this event in Butler, Pennsylvania, expressing astonishment that some of them saw this person on the roof and shocked that the Secret Service ultimately did take action to take out the shooter, but of course not in time before something happened with an apparent firearm. The former president, his fist in the air. That photo, the photos in this image of Trump leaving the stage with his arm in the air have circulated like wildfire among his closest supporters and allies. And it should be noted, many of Trump's supporters on social media tonight extremely angry. It's not going to reflect all of the verbatims of what we're seeing on social media from some of the Republicans around Trump. But to be clear, this is
he worried about retaliation. What's happening?
Still a politically charged moment as much as it is a crime investigation and a security moment. Many people already in this country very angry at the other side, not just on a partisan red versus blue level, but we cover it all the time here at CBS News. There's a visceral nature to the emotions that pour out on the campaign trail.
And to that point, Bob Costa, I was just texting with Robert O'Brien, the former national security advisor to Donald Trump, who sent out a statement saying we've got to take the political temperature down. He and Mike Lee, the senator, issued this jointly. We've got to take the political temperature down as evidenced by what happened in Pennsylvania today. So 2 key Republican Trump supporters calling for the rhetoric, the political violence, the threats of it to be lowered. That is in stark contrast to the head of the Trump campaign, one of the top Trump campaign officials you were reading statements from earlier. We are also looking at social media posts from other Republicans who are quite angry. Everyone should be angry that this security failure happened, but in a way that will raise further concern of someone misinterpreting things and perhaps carrying out further political violence. Law enforcement will want to lower this temperature. And words matter right now very much.
Well, we're entering, though, a period of extreme political charge with the Republican National Convention. We just heard from Major Garrett and Ed O'Keefe on the ground in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, because that begins on Monday.
We have on the phone another eyewitness from the event in Pennsylvania today. Her name is Melissa Schaffert. Melissa, I understand you heard some pops. You heard what we believe to be a series of gunshots. According to the log I see, there were at least 3 shots heard. How many did you hear?
I believe we heard 4 shots. It was very confusing because the shots did not sound like they were gunshots. It sounded like they were fireworks. And we were sitting about 50 feet from this giant green tractor, which is a combine. And I look over and I saw plumes of dust, but I thought that's not what a gunshot sounds like. There was more than one set of bleachers. And then the chaos ensued, and we all...
There was more than one set of bleachers. So there was more than one set of bleachers that we didn't see on camera. So I said, well said, Fernando, I agree. Fernando said, Shy send you a video on Instagram of a guy being interviewed who was warning them about the shooter. Bet. I'm going to pull it up. Abby said, this was my least favorite thing about Trump in general was his active effort to divide us as a country and as a people. I could have gotten behind him more if it wasn't for that and lack of humanity. I believe he saw that lack of humanity. I believe he saw that already in people, and he just let them do their thing and said, okay, and gassed it up. I feel the same way. That's what I didn't like about him. You know? You gassed it up. You took what you knew would work and you gassed it up. And that was dangerous because those people walk around, those people. I'm not saying you supporters of him. I'm saying those people. Those people right there, some of them think they have the right to say and do whatever the fuck they want. Bobby D said, Trump right now conducting an internal investigation on who ordered the hit. Right now, he talking from every hustler to every gangster. He's talking to everybody. Where did this come from, huh? Where did this come from? Who we got to hit now?
Got down on the ground, and I could actually hear bullets whizzing by. So I think the interesting thing to note when you're looking at all of the footage that is online and President Trump is directly in front of you on the screen, all of this action was taking place to the right of the president. So we were on the ground for about a minute. We all stood up, and that's when I posted quite a lengthy video on my Instagram that shows the exact area where we heard the gunshots coming from. Now, it's interesting to note that the gunshots obviously hit a large piece of equipment that was holding a giant speaker, and that cable snapped. And when that cable snapped, some kind of fluid came out of that machine. So there was fluid spraying, and there was a loud noise and equipment falling as well. So it was very chaotic.
I'm sure it is. I'm looking here at our producers logging the video playback that we've been watching.
Fernando said Trump better come out and say it was a bullet that hit him and not glass. I agree. IB said he calling Diddy to put his ear to the ground. Facts.
Here, that's on your screen right now, and it looks like there was about a 30-second.
Right, let's look at this. Let's look at this Instagram video right quick. It's an X video. Let me see if I can
inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. And
So we had a party here.
Hold on, I gotta turn it up.
You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, you know.
Someone who was here, you weren't inside the event, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw. And
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party. And we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us. 50,
that is kind of close, man. It's kind of close for the Secret Service to not peep that shit. If Buddy right here with the fake red hair up on the top of his head coming out of that visor right there, if he seen it, you know what I'm saying, him and his buddies, then how did they miss it? But that's, again, him being that close, that's another reason why they got back at him so quick. They got him so quick.
From us. So we're still of the building, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here?
Facts. That's my question right there. If it's that close enough that dude was within earshot, to be outside of that place within earshot, I'm going to stand on this corner, I'm going to listen to this guy tell his story, right? If they're that close, I don't know how they missed him. They dropped the ball. And Buddy, boom, he got up, got into place right while dude was getting on stage, and he did his thing. But this dude is absolutely correct. Why didn't they have somebody on every one of them buildings?
I mean, this is not a big place. Did
Facts.
you see the slope went? He was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching.
Don't ask the man the question if you don't want the answer, man. Blew his shit off.
Place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. No, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is...
Camera should have swung right there. Camera should have swung and shown us what he's pointing at. IBC, this dude's definitely getting a job as head of security after this campaign. Fernando said, bro, if the guy was Muslim, black, or Latino, they would have at least mentioned the race. He's a shooter, not a terrorist. Facts. Fernando, I dropped the link on Instagram for you. Great interview. Salutes to you. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for dropping this link right here. I agree with Buddy. Everything he said so far. That was the most English response ever. We don't know who's watching. Yeah, no shit. Ivy said, but also that maybe explains why they haven't identified. There were at least 3 shots, and they were probably larger caliber than 22. We'll see.
There's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family.
What was his name?
And listen.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event.
Nope.
But you were just outside. Tell us what you saw.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse here. We had a party.
Oh, his name is Tim. What is it? No, that ain't him.
The Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse here.
Brinkles Farm and Greenhouse. Yeah, good interview. I agree with him. I don't understand why they didn't have that whole block locked down. That don't make sense. If he could see him, how every vantage point you have, y'all didn't see him, or y'all was gonna let him get it. That didn't happen. And right now, he's loading his weapons, rolling his blunts.
Bullets around him. He had blood on his face. He was whisked off stage. This comes also before the Republican National Convention. That's not going to be canceled. There's no sign tonight from our reporting in Milwaukee on the ground that that's going to stop in any way. They're going to expand the perimeter. But you're seeing so many Republicans tonight. And you also see, just again, former President Trump is fine based on our conversations with his closest advisors and families. And I want to just read a part of his statement from 8:42 tonight on Truth Social. He said, "Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening." He closes with "God bless America," and we saw him raise his hand in the air defiantly, blood on his face as he left the stage.
He is recovering from these injuries now. This was a traumatic event, no doubt, for him. But I did notice there was no call for lowering the temperature, condemning all political violence, and really trying to signal to his supporters as well not to retaliate or to have any kind of escalation here. I just am looking at these statements.
There's a belief in his inner circle that he's under siege after being attacked at his rally. And so there's a lot of every text message I'm getting.
Will exactly digest it, like you're saying.
I mean, every single text message, literally every single one from Trump sources is outraged and shocked. And so that is certainly the mood inside the highest ranks of the Republican Party, speaking to CBS News tonight. You did see President Biden come out to Rehoboth, Delaware, and call the moment sick.
And we want to play that actually right now, Bob. Let's listen to the president.
I've been thoroughly briefed by all the agencies in the federal government as to the situation, based on what we know now. I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that the people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to if it's not convenient for you all.
That was a statement, as you see there, from President Biden calling for calm, saying he reached out to Donald Trump himself, hopes to reach him sometime this evening to check on his competitors' well-being. We want to bring in CBS News senior White House and political correspondent Ed O'Keefe, who follows the Biden campaign very closely, but is also.
Shout out IB said this guy. He's talking about the guy with the red wig. Talking about this. This guy might actually have a future as president. I think he's exactly the kind of character that could actually turn things around at this point. Not even kidding. Salutes. Ivan said 223s or 556 for sure. Speaking of the caliber of the weapon, y'all. Perfecto J77 said, bro, that shit was definitely scripted, straight propaganda. I have to disagree with you, my friend. I appreciate you, though. Salutes. Jonathan said, Univision had a former Secret Service agent saying by the sound of the shots, he can identify his .223 caliber rifle or an AR-15. I don't know how you come to a conclusion like that off a replay. Muscle memory, I guess, for him.
On the political trail right now. He's out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Ed, what do you know at this hour?
The president remains at his home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, Margaret, but the protective press pool that tracks his movements and travels with him for incidents just like what unfolded today, or the possibility of them, has not yet been cleared for the night, which means it's just like what unfolded today, or the possibility of them, has not yet been cleared. But the protective press pool that tracks his movements and travels with him for incidents just like what.
Somebody whispered, "Oh my God," some shit like that.
Unfolded today, or the possibility of them, has not yet been cleared for the night, which means we could hear again from the president. There could be a decision made to move him back to Washington tonight. We await word on that from those traveling with him in Delaware. But in that statement, condemning the violence, calling it sick, saying it's one of the reasons we have to unite, and the fact that he said from the beginning of that statement that he's trying to speak with Trump tonight was a signal not only to Americans but to the world that at least American political leaders are trying to get in touch and unite tonight in the aftermath of this violence. A few other things to convey here to remind people. We are in Milwaukee ahead of the Republican convention. It is set to begin on Monday with the formal nomination of Trump and his running mate, who we still don't know who that person is. It's supposed to happen Monday afternoon. There are events beginning tomorrow. This is classified already, has been for years, as a top national security event on par with inaugurations.
Yeah, so there's another set of bleachers on the other side, evidently.
The Democratic National Convention.
Shout out Ivan. He said God spared his life 3 inches from dying for sure. Yeah, man, probably less than that. That's why I'm trying to understand Zoraida when she's talking about the loss of life location.
And other big, large events. So there are thousands of federal, state, and local law enforcement here in this city deployed across Wisconsin. As we were flying in this afternoon, there were about a dozen or so law enforcement officers. We never quite determined for which agency, but they were flying in here as a group to deploy in assistance to the Milwaukee Police Department. In the airport, we found dozens of others from other agencies. Some appear to be from Texas, for example. There are about a dozen cities across the country who've deployed police officers, other security personnel here to help. That's standard. It's happened. There may be more in the coming days, but for now, they've been part of planning for years. We saw them riding around on bicycles earlier today, getting the lay of the land, trying to sort out their bearings. And of course, all of them under the leadership of the U.S. Secret Service, which is responsible
I'm looking for other eyewitness videos
for these kinds of events. So we await word tonight, Margaret, on whether or not we'll hear again from the president and in what form. And we should also add, in a sign of one attempt at least to address the heated rhetoric of the moment, the Biden campaign has decided to immediately begin postponing television and digital communication across the country on television, in your social media stream. It may take a few hours or days for it to all filter out. But as of now, the Biden campaign isn't spending any money reaching voters on the air, online, through text messaging. Officials here at CBS confirmed that they've received the messages, as would be standard, telling them to please cease that advertising. And so that is what will happen, unclear for how long, but a sign of at least the Biden campaign's effort to address this and take down the temperature.
Okay.
That motorcycle is fucking
you can hear
with
Ed
dude's
O'Keefe
life.
there on the street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, ahead of the RNC getting underway. The Defense Secretary of the United States of America, Lloyd Austin, has also issued a statement condemning the violence, which has absolutely no place in our democracy. This is not the way we resolve our differences in America, and it must never be. He says he's relieved that reports indicate former President Trump is safe and he is in his prayers. I want to go to Samantha.
Fernando said this is some Casos de la Vida Real shit or Rosa de Guadalupe. I'm telling you, dog, we live in history today. Bobby D said the other side now wants to have a peace meeting. Don't do it. It's a setup. It's a setup, all right? Michael, you can't forget. Whoever invites you to this meeting, that's the one that's betrayed the family, right? It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Can't forget. Luis Garcia on the check-in. Salutes to you, Luis. I appreciate you. We're going to go through a couple of, eyewitnesses real quick. Let's get some eyewitnesses, more eyewitnesses popping. Let's see.
It was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly as far as I could tell. And at that point,
from behind the bleachers, man, I'm trying to understand how this makes some kind of sense. Behind the bleachers. Oh, if there was bleachers on this side, maybe he ripped through the bleachers with bullets first? No way. He need a clear eyesight to hit him in the eye
and the SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. he died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. I mean, it wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a complete stranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind, above me, or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of up my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it replayed on the video here. Do you remember, can you tell, I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point, was it immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit, and she was hit within the first 7 shots. I counted 7 shots.
What was going through your mind? You were right there. I know it happened so quickly, but what can you tell us about those moments?
First, I was in shock because I know what gunshots sound like, so I knew they were gunshots. I couldn't tell from where they were coming from. And when I noticed someone got hit, then I noticed, well, it seemed like they were coming from behind me, and it just was pandemonium. And then I heard some more shots, and I couldn't quite tell where they were coming from. But I counted the first 7, and they were very loud and very close. And it killed one man and wounded another woman.
And Joseph, you told me that you're a doctor, you're an OBGYN. How did that background play into how quickly you were sort of able to assess the situation and know what happened to these individuals and know what was going on?
Well,
Shout out Zoraida. She said, okay, I take back all my statements. My bad, Chad. I can hear the facts better now and take back all my statements. Shai included my statement on location of loss of life. I totally bypassed temporal vein. And no worries. And again, we don't have to agree on shit all the time, but I just want to understand everybody's take on it. You know what I'm saying? Before I judge it. You know what I mean? I think we was millimeters away from watching dude's face get took off. You know what I mean? Jonathan said 9/11, January 6th, practically all over again. It takes wild-ish to unite as a country, unfortunately. I'm not speaking for everyone, of course, but the political climate at the moment, it's going to be all finger-pointing tomorrow, bro. Like that. When I was watching it live, I thought Trump fell or something. Yeah. Yep. That shit's crazy. They tried to take Buddy out today. He's at the crib talking about, I'm untouchable. You can't touch me. Too cold. All right?
I told the police, when I tried to render assistance, I told the police I could render assistance. They had another physician on the EMT team, so they kind of took over. So they didn't really need me, so I kind of helped carry him down initially out of the bleachers.
He had the crib talking about,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
That's it. Yippee-ki-yay.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't, the man that got hit, there was no assistance that needed to be given. And unfortunately, his family witnessed the whole thing. It seemed like he had several family members in the bleacher.
That sucks, all right? A man got unalived today, and he was just there at a rally minding his business.
With him. And they were quite upset. They didn't know, they were in shock. They didn't quite know what was going on. But the man was definitely killed instantaneously.
Could you tell sort of how many family members or people who knew him were with him, and what was their reaction?
I thought there was 5 people. 2 of them were relatively hysterical. So, but they were, when we took the man out of the bleachers, he went to the tent. There was an aid tent or some type of tent behind the bleachers where they took the body, and they immediately evacuated the family with them. And 2 out of the 5, it seemed like, in shock, hysterical. Like they were still trying to process what was going on.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard the shots. We saw the president go down.
Yeah, I saw President Trump get hit.
Yeah. What can you tell us? What details you remember?
She's all surprised. Can you tell us? Fucking monkey.
Like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he.
We saw the president go down.
Yeah, I saw President Trump get hit. Yeah.
What can you tell us? What details you remember?
It seemed like his head was off to the side, and it seemed like he got nicked in the ear.
Was that before the Secret Service took him?
So the question is, did that shot come from behind him? So he's facing this way. Did it come from behind him, or did it come from in front? I want to Google Earth this area.
Down to the ground, covered him?
Right before the Secret Service. I mean, it was maybe, again, it's hard to tell, time dilates when, it seemed like it was a second or 2. Like that first 7 shots that went off, the man got hit. He was killed almost instantly. the woman in the bleachers, she got injured, like she got hit in the forearm and the hand. And then in those rounds that were fired, again, I was videoing the event, so that's when I saw Trump get hit. And it seemed to me like he was looking to the side and the round grazed his ear. So.
Could you tell the gentleman that was hit in the head what angle he was in relation to the former president, like which direction the bullets were coming from and to?
So it looked like he was facing the president at the very far left portion of the bleachers, so he's directly facing it. Again, it seemed to me like the shots were coming from the rear, like behind us. And for me, it seemed like the man was in the way. Like, I guess...
In the way of the former president?
No, it seemed like the man was in the way of the shots between whoever was shooting the gun and the president.
So he's saying, buddy took the shot at the man that was sitting next to him, took the shot at him, got him out the way to clear the area to hit Trump in the ear.
It seemed like he was in the crossfire.
And I know.
Let me get my shoes.
And I know you're in shock and still processing all of this. It's sort of hard to evaluate our own emotions in this moment, but you just experienced something horrific.
Yes.
What can you tell us about your state of mind right now?
Yeah, I've had opportunities to go to these rallies before. It's the first one I ever went to. I had time off to go do it. I was kind of excited to go, but it's everyone, it's something you don't expect. It comes out of the blue. It's like a bolt out of the blue, and it's shocking. The way politics goes in this country, it just seems like it's really polarized. Everyone's just very angry. I'm honestly shocked this didn't happen earlier. I was commenting to my friend who went to the event with me. I was like, the back behind the bleachers, it's really open. It seems like a really open venue, and it's just, I got this sense that, someone really wanted to do something. And again, I was openly talking to her, and I was like, if something bad was going to be happening, this is the perfect venue to have. I just said this like an hour before it happened. I was like, this would be the perfect place to do it. And, surprisingly enough, it happened.
A devastatingly prescient observation from you. Let me ask you one more question, because from where I was, there was confusion. Then Trump stood up and there were some cheers. And then people sort of remained, those that weren't in sort of the immediate zone where you were, people were still sort of cheering, talking, trying to figure out what was going on. How quickly did you know that whether or not there was still a dangerous situation? It seemed like people sort of started to try to move on very quickly, not sure what had happened, right? So how soon did you know whether or not it was even safe? Did you want to get out of there?
Is that confirmed, Rilo? Rilo says AK-47. Is that confirmed?
Or what did you witness in sort of the immediate aftermath once the shots stopped?
Well, it seemed after the shots went off, everyone thought it was a prank. Everyone, I think, got a sense, like when I looked out into the crowd, everyone thought I think the initial reaction, everyone thought it was a prank. I knew better it was a gunshot because I just saw a guy get hit. And it did.
For those of us that didn't see, some people started laughing, some people were confused. It wasn't immediately clear to the crowd that didn't witness what you witnessed, that this was in fact a dangerous and deadly situation.
Oh, it was a dangerous and deadly situation. The problem is it's a large crowd, and when the gunshots went off, I think they were, again, my sense was they were being shot from behind, so they sounded a bit muffled. So it sounded more like a firecracker going off. So I think the initial reaction from the people around me were like, okay, well, someone brought fireworks. I just knew better. I knew what gunshots sound like. And, when I saw the guy took a gunshot wound to the head, and I saw the woman who got hit in the forearm and the hand, I just knew that it wasn't fireworks. I mean, it wasn't fireworks initially, but I think the majority of the crowd didn't understand that it was gunfire. And, I think people took it really seriously when the SWAT team started jumping over the rails. So I don't know what to tell you outside of that.
Joseph, I know this.
Yeah, get off me,
I can't
lady.
imagine what it takes.
Me the same questions and shit.
Describe what you just witnessed in these moments, right in the aftermath. So we thank you so much for sharing.
I'm happy.
Lester.
Shut your. But thank you. All right, let's see.
More like what we heard. The bullets rattling around the grandstand. One hit the speaker. More like what we heard. The bullets rattling around the grandstand. One hit the speaker tower, and then chaos broke. We hit the ground, and the police converged to the grandstands. cracks, and then I saw a hydraulic line from one of the speakers looked like it had gotten hit, and I heard, like Chris said, a couple of bullets rattling around, and then we hit the deck, and once the authorities converged, we assisted with two patients that may have gotten.
All right. Would you guys like to see the skin color of the man that did this? Here we go. There he is. This is America. Active shooter. Right? And now if you guys want to see a picture inside Trump's headquarters right now, picture inside Trump's headquarters right now. Right? He's having meetings with all the capos. It's going down. Salutes Eddie Jimenez on the check-in. He said, greetings, Shy and Chat and crew. Just got home. Apologies for being tardy. No apologies, Papas. Get your dough. All right? You got a replay game to catch up on. We catching up on history, all right? It went down today. Salutes. Bobby D said, after surviving this, my guy Trump going to be acting like he could walk on water. Acting like he could walk on water. He's walking on water right now. Wherever he's at, he's walking on some water. He got his shoes and everything.
Shot up in the grandstand, and we cleared a path for getting them out of the way, and it's just a sad day for America. Well, after we heard the shots got fired, then the hydraulic line was spraying all around. You could see the hydraulic fluid coming out of it, and then the speaker tower started to fall down. And then we heard another shot that you could hear.
All right, so that's corroboration, because somebody did say that there was speaker fluid and lines getting snipped with bullets.
You knew something was. It was bullets. I mean, it wasn't firecrackers. I mean, they weren't super loud shots, but you could tell they were you
could hear it landing, the ammunition landing on metal.
Yeah, it was.
What's dark brown? No. That looked like a white man there. Zoraida? Here, I'm going to put the picture in the Discord. Let me get it real quick. Oh, did they get rid of it? No. He got his shoes and everything. I'm going to drop this in the Discord, this image here. He's on the ground. And he's donezo. Here we go. We're in the Cartel chat. I just dropped the image in the Discord, y'all. That looks like a milky white skin tone to me. Salutes. Von Trump gonna be outside. He's gonna be outside. He got his shoes and everything. Acorn 47 or Acorn 15. Either or. This acorn's just as good as that acorn.
And then we just kind of took cover behind it. There was a farm tractor there. We just told everybody to get down. We tried to get them to move back because at that time we didn't know if we were still an active shooter. And then turned around and we were concerned for the president to beat Trump. And we saw him stand up, and it looks like he was really, the Secret Service really had been huddled around him. And then he got up, and then he gave the motion it was okay. And then after that, we was just trying to get out.
The internet's undefeated.
Right.
It was rather chaotic at that point because everyone.
Right, we saw that one. No, I don't know. Then I'm the one I put in the Discord, Zoraida, is the one that I got from 50 Cent's Instagram. Had a body on the body on the roof. Von Trump from the no disrespect. Trump outside tomorrow. All right. They even got him over here as motherfucking Omar from The Wire, right? They got him looking like Omar from The Wire. I'm gonna put that in the Discord too. Shit's hilarious. Bow. So yeah. All right, y'all.
Half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks.
I'm gonna check and see. Wait, y'all weren't able to see those dudes say all that shit? My bad. These guys right
More
here.
like what we heard. The bullets rattling around the grandstand. One hit the speaker tower, and then chaos broke. We hit the ground, and the police converged to the grandstands. First thing I heard was a couple of cracks. Then I saw a hydraulic line from one of the speakers looked like it had gotten hit. And I heard, like Chris said, a couple of bullets rattling around.
Couple 2-3 bullets.
And we hit the deck. And
just looking for news, y'all.
Once the authorities converged, we assisted with two patients that may have gotten shot up in the grandstand, and we cleared a path for getting them out of the way. And it's just a sad day for America.
You're right, Fernando. Everybody's saying shooting suspect, not terrorist, none of that shit.
Well, after I heard the shots got fired, then the hydraulic line was
hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all.
You can see the hydraulic fluid
Subscribe
coming
if
out
you
of
have
it,
yet to do
and
so.
then the speaker tower started to fall down. And then we heard another shot that you could hear. You knew something was. It was bullets. I mean, it wasn't firecrackers. I mean, they weren't super loud shots, but you could tell they were you know.
You could hear it
shots.
landed. The ammunition landed
and it
on
was,
metal.
Yeah, it was. And then we just kind of took cover behind it. There was a farm tractor there, and we just told everybody to get down. We tried to get them to move back because at that time we didn't know if we were still an active shooter. And then turned around and we were concerned for the president to be Trump. And we saw him stand up, and it looks like he was really, you know, the Secret Service really had huddled around him. And then he got up, and then he gave the motion it was okay. And then after that, we was just trying to get out safe.
I'm okay. This is America. So that's it. It's like I'm effing lost today. Thank you, Shai, for breaking it down. You got jet lag. Don't worry about it. It's all good. That's what we're here for. Salutes. All right, y'all, man. I think I'm going to check out. I don't think there's no additional news. When we get into some additional news, I'll jump on tomorrow. We'll talk about it. Again, I was not planning on going live. I was in the middle of editing and uploading and getting things monetized and cleared. And Ivan came up, boom, said this went down. So I wanted to jump on it instantaneously. I'll cut this right now and drop this as its own thing as well. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for getting some history, getting this historical moment with me over here. Get in here. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all on both sides. Hundreds up in the chat. Right? Y'all can drop y'all hundreds in the chat. I'm going to start reading off the chat from the top. All right? Shout out Oso. Salutes to you, sir. Ben Allmark. Salutes to you. Fernando. Salutes to you, sir. I appreciate your input. Thank you very much. Salutes Crash Out. Appreciate you, sir. Velez. Salutes. Appreciate you. 298. Salutes to you. Who else is up in here? Also, my brother, William Palmer. Salutes. Rilo, I appreciate you. Zoraida, our pleasure per usual. Salutes, Bobby D. I appreciate you. Dercio, salutes. JFL, salutes. Adrian Torres, I appreciate you. Raven Jefferson, thank you for coming through per usual. Shout out Upper Echelon for coming through. Think like a kingpin. Salutes to you, sir. IB, I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out. EG, appreciate your input. Trump and the Insane Pope's going to clap back. It's going down. J-Star, I appreciate you for coming through. Cacico, thank you for stopping by. Top G, I appreciate you. Salutes. Let's see. Again, Fernando, salutes to you. Vernon Himes, thank you, sir, for hanging out. LV, salutes. Ivan, thank you, sir. You kicked it off. Let's see. Perfecto J777, I appreciate you, sir. Lisa Rivera, thank you for coming through. What's up in here? I'm still scrolling, y'all. I'm still scrolling. Boom, 3 football fields. Archon 15. Bobby D. I wonder if Trump's son will step in like Michael did in The Godfather. We shall see. All right, let me get on this vertical side. Salutes Fly Fishing. Appreciate you. Salutes Rilo. Zoraida for coming, jumping the fence on this side. Big Blanc from the O. We appreciate you per usual. Eric Alvarado, thank you. So our political BS planned for more voter turnout. Nah, they didn't plan that. And Aaliyah said, salute Santa Aaliyah for coming through. I appreciate you. Ralphie Ralph, appreciate you. Gilberto, thank you for coming through. Ivan, salutes. Jay Caster, thank you for stopping by. Also, jump the fence. Hit that like button over there. DE, salutes. Smoking Guns Custom, salutes to you. And LV on this side, too. Appreciate you. That's it, man. Salutes, man. Y'all have a great night. All right. And we'll catch up on the Bochinche mañana. All right. Y'all have a good night. And I will see y'all next time. All right. We got no music on the way out. We just touch and go. Salutes. All right. Y'all have